2, 1, 2. Ha, ha. So we are live and direct for another Crates and Convo. Fathom DJ and my comrades are here digging through the crates at the storage space, and it's a little hot up in this girl today, I must say, but we are listening to some soul and some disco and some house and some of everything and just rummaging through these gems. So you're more than welcome to listen in with us as we continue this effort of letting go of 20 years plus worth of music from this storage space of mine. Okay, y'all don't have to be extra quiet now. Now, what are we talking about? The fact that this is one of my grandmother's favorite songs and I love it dearly. Also, Frankie Knuckles said that this was a classic jam back in the day. I mean, for it to be as slow as it is, it's interesting that it ended up being like one of them pre-disco soul kind of vibes. But it's one of my favorite songs in life. What you got over there? That, look, this is for reconsideration.
Let's see what we got here. Rhythm and heritage, huh?
Now that's definitely like soulfully disco and stuff.
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, it's the end of
If the Lord gets tired of us calling on him.
No. Straight up, I do sometimes.
I do. I'm like, I know.
I get tired.
Look, could you?
Who else? Because he says do it, so who else is supposed to?
Can you imagine how long the line is of the list of things that people are asking the Lord for the Lord? I would be tired.
You're not tired.
You're not tired? Okay, if you say so, because I'd be like, I'm not taking no calls today, bitches. I'm not. Y'all need to leave me alone. I'm not taking no calls. Don't be coming down my house. The gates are closed. Don't make me put the pit bulls out on your ass. Patty and a fur.
Got Teddy.
She a soul girl. I ain't mad about it. Every day of my life.
Oh, yes. Fix it, Jesus.
Everybody.
Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Good.
Somebody. What you say? Fix what, Jesus? Oh.
My trip last weekend, I'm going to have something. No, have to pay in the cab lease, damn it. This girl.
This is dope.
Whose manifest I have, she got it from her father.
Tracy drives a cab and medical vehicle. So
Each one of her trips is 29.
How long she gonna be out of town?
Till Tuesday, because it's Monday and Tuesday left. So I had it.
She's like,
Again, bitch, go again. Go again. As a matter of fact, me and her just met. I've had her manifest each time she go out of town. So when she goes, she be like, give them to Tracy. So I just happened to be in Forest Park, and Jeff called me. He's like, you want to do an airport trip? I was like, hell yeah, that's cash. He was like, it's Shira. I'm like, oh, okay. So I get to meet her. So when I was telling her, I was like, your girl called me. She's like, you Tracy. She was like, well, I'm big on till Tuesday. You want my trip? Hell yeah. Give me up.
look. Weren't we just talking about this?
Yeah.
Woo, now I gotta play it.
Who is it?
Don't you get so mad about it? Did you have to get so mad?
Oh, Jesus,
Don't you get
come
so
on.
mad and stay with me tonight?
That's half of the money that I need when I go back in a few days. I mean, in a couple of weeks. Half of it.
What? All right.
Half of it.
Girl, listen, you don't know nothing about this life, babe.
You know what I mean? I'm older.
You gotta have padded shoulders. That little blazer that dudes used to wear with the padded shoulders and the little skinny pants. That's what they do. The shoulder pads, like Colonel Abrams. I know this life, girl. Really? get upset? Don't you get so mad about it? Don't you get so
Music
mad
make you
about
feel
it?
better. All that energy that I had that was
Yes.
climbing over the counter to
Smack a
somebody
bitch.
else right now. Oh, that's gone. That's gone.
The smack a bitch energy.
It was on me heavy.
It was a real thing.
I've been wanting to smack the bitch since this morning, though. It didn't start at McDonald's.
I know. I remember. she was like, did you just say that to me? That's about old girl.
Right.
How about that? That's what she said. How about that?
How about this? Bitch.
Man, you don't play. Scared of you.
I'm being scared. I'm a sweetheart, ain't I? Ain't I?
All I know is I didn't want to be the person at McDonald's today.
I was
She was like,
You're about to kill somebody. You just got a raise.
look, this is what she said. She said you got bail money. I was like, girl, I got things to do with my bail money. You bailing your ass.
First of all, my food. And it's not right. And blatant disrespect. I'm standing at the counter too long. First of all. For some customer service. You had to stand in there. So I don't care how it was warm. It was nice in there.
But you say you started feeling the heat. Like, okay. It's just not worth it. Okay, we gotta go here now. Yeah. You come through the door, quarter after 4 a.m. Hello. We start to kissing. Ooh, we start to neck. You know what comes next is your loving girl. But oh, hey! Feels
I
so
just
good.
started sweating.
Because it's getting to you, girl. Yeah.
I'll just move.
Clap, clap.
I'll just move.
Clap, clap. Baby, stay with me tonight. Cause you give me special joy. Make me feel just like a schoolboy girl. Clap, clap. Clap, clap. Baby, stay with me tonight. Cause I love ya. You know I really do love ya, girl. Hey, it's in my innermost fantasy. To share and care and to give
I've heard it
my
before, but I
life
don't know
to
what the song is.
Hey, I'm telling you, dude, we know this life. Oh, I'm having a hot flash. Maybe that is true. But what can I do? I love you, girl. I didn't even know this was on here. Moving left and right. I got time. Come back and get that. What? Surely breathe, oh girl. Oh. And you know I would not lie. Girl, you are my pride. Baby, stay with me tonight. Cause you give me special joy. Oh. Make me feel just like a schoolboy girl. Oh. The feeling is so right. Please come hold me tight. Baby, stay with me tonight. Yeah. I was gonna let it go. I can't.
You got some orange juice Jones somewhere?
Beat it. Need you by my side, baby.
Sing it. Sing it.
I wanna run my fingers through your hair. Whisper sweet things in your hair. Okay.
Is this the police?
Yeah. That's my shizzle. You don't know nothing. Look, David didn't know none of them words, y'all. That's all right, David.
I have my own taste.
He's like, that's not my shit. That's y'all shit. Huh?
I was asking him what's on the police album.
Oh, that's that classic joint.
Is that?
Sundada Madada, and I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's been forever. But Voices is on there, and Don't Stop, Don't Stand So Close to Me. Zenyatta Mandata. I watched a documentary the other day about reggae during the early 80s. And the drummer for the police let his group have it about black music and reggae during that period. He was honest, it was brutal. He was like, we tore and took so many elements from that genre and gave nothing in return. I was like, that's the black experience. Like, that's what y'all normally do, right? I'm like, the admission that he would tell, he was sincere about it, because it was like during that period when they were doing like this kind of ska bouncy stuff, they killed it. And they got their fame from doing this style of music, and then they moved on.
They gave no recognition to where they're
Now, and in the same documentary, Boy George talked heavily about how white people didn't like them doing reggae. Culture Club, I thought that was interesting. And black folks was like, we love the way you sing, we love the way you represent the music. White folks wasn't feeling it.
Kind of like
I thought it was interesting. Because you would think when they have their faces representation, you think they normally appreciate it. It was soulful. It wasn't like
soulful and
very much so. Because that blue is wonderful. It's like an aquamarine. Hi. How are you? What you got a little skirt on today, sis? She's like, no.
You got a cover for this one?
It's around here somewhere.
Come on, are you taking that?
What?
It's actually on.
You want it? Go
home.
ahead.
Look, she's like, I might have another copy.
Can we put that in?
Gonna go ahead.
Put that in the stairs.
In his stash. Look, she's like, in his stash, Jesus. You know that's not the right speed. That's not the right speed, David. You haven't started drinking yet. Come on now. It's a good one. There you go. Look, I said, unless y'all look, she's like, you don't know what's in my motherfucking cup. I know. What's happening? How was your day? You want to put that on?
I need to take the computer away.
Girl, that computer is not gonna fit in. Look,
I was hoping it
that's so
would.
cute, though. That is really cute. Yes, my love. I doubt it. Not on vinyl.
Okay.
I know they released a record. I don't think I got a copy of it. Is that gonna fit in there? That's so cute of you, though. That is so cute.
I was hoping. No way. Nope. Okay.
You know, this CP, this is a fossil. It's like a brick phone.
Yeah, that's not the one I thought it was.
I can't believe it wouldn't work without the damn computer.
Wow.
Right, fossilic. I mean, yeah, because it might just be dead. The hope is that it's not, but we shall see. Somebody asked me about some photos, and I was like, they on the computer that Drew was supposed to get. She was like, do you have any photos from back from 1902? And I was like, yeah, they on the computer that Shree is supposed to get. How's your day going?
If I fall off, then let me know.
Sleepy and hungry.
You been out? I can concur on the sleeping. Oh, this is a good story to tell for the show.
I'm gonna take what you have to say is here, then I'm gonna do it.
I don't know how long she's gonna be here, but I'm a Uber if I need to. Look at her lips.
Contrary to popular belief, you know what, yo, this is not a love song.
That's dope. The artist's dope
And
too.
it feels good to have people up on it, but I'm just a fool playing with the master tools, learning.
My camera? Wow.
Similar.
Does it sound like it to you?
Tone, no, more like most stuff to me, but
Yeah.
what was I gonna say to you, Julia? What'd you do today?
I did my show. I had
How did that go?
difficulties.
Oh, do we want to talk about your deciding to leave your radio station? Do we want to talk about that live and direct? I'm recording right now. I don't know, maybe you don't, but did you want to follow live or something? She needs a solo, you know, Aquarians. Oops, I'm surrounded.
I'm a Cancer, so.
We know. That's a hot tune.
I just told them that, well, actually, at first I didn't say anything. I was just like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And
Was that like a dun 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 for them?
well, Rob was like, you know, he's trying to find out, well, I guess, corrective action or whatever can be made. I mean, Derek was concerned too. Like, I hope nothing happened and you didn't, you know, just telling me. I'm like, I just don't want to share. But then today, I did tell Rob, I was like,
I don't want to share.
pretty much, if you want to put out a quality product, you gotta have quality people. Everybody has to know what their job is. Everybody has to do their job,
Why you getting quiet?
and they have to, take.
I'm just taking notes.
Someone has to hold people accountable. I was like, now I know that might be a little hard in this situation because everybody's volunteering their time, but when you don't hold people accountable for what they're supposed to be doing, then they just won't do it. And then when someone doesn't do their job, then that means other people have to do their job, or it just doesn't get done. And so then you end up not putting out a quality product, but an inconsistent product.
Yep.
And that's just not cool.
It's not good for any of
And
us.
it's not good. I was like, how are you gonna have a team, but only maybe one person on the team is working, and it's 5 people on the team? Like, what good is that?
Everybody's sitting around doing nothing,
Yes.
basically.
And I was like, we are grown people. We shouldn't have to follow up, make sure this person did this thing, make sure, everybody should know what they're supposed to do and do it. And you would think a person would just have pride in their stuff. I was like, but these people, they don't do what they're supposed to do, and they don't have no shame, no apologies, no nothing. And I was just like, I'm just used to working in more structured,
Environment.
I just like structure and knowing stuff, and I ask questions so I can be smarter, and I ask questions if I'm being brought in on the team so I can know how to make the team work better. So I'm not the weak link, and I just,
And was there any response to that? Or they just got quiet?
He wanted to know.
Didn't you ask me about days like this?
Yes, New Eureka Soul, but I want
You want an MP3 copy, not like we can't rip this.
I know.
But this is the Rodney Jerkins anyway. It's not this.
I could do all that, but I wasn't trying to do all that. That's the only thing.
She said, remember, I am digital. Anyway, go on.
Digital, if you want me to.
Yes.
No,
undigi. No undigi.
No.
Go ahead.
I mean, it was, like, what can I do to keep you stay?
Cut it. No.
Yeah, it's just and then I communicated, my relationship with,
I think that is.
members. And I was just like, our communication is like, I don't appreciate it. I was like, first of all, that day when I was asking the question on what's our etiquette,
Because it's bothering me. And we need it because I'm going to throw some stuff away. But thank you. Go ahead.
when I was asking him, I was reminding him of that day when I was asking him, so what's our etiquette when when
listen to your
people-
terminology.
Yeah. Like what are we supposed to do when
Nice.
people are coming on the show? Do we show them the flyer? Like what is our process? When I asked that question that day, and I got just all these crazy comments and why you want to know
Defense.
who did son da da da, and I was like, first of all, why are they caring about why I'm asking? I mean, yeah, what's my motivation for asking a question? Just concentrate on the question and whether or not it's a valid question or not, and whether or not it can make us better. But the fact that they jumped on me was very offensive, unprofessional, and I didn't like that. And I was like, and it continues on. I can't have a conversation or ask a question from a particular person without them trying to make like I'm not the one on the right page. Hello, how about you're not the one on the right page? I think the question I'm asking in whatever circumstance is valid, makes sense, and I was like, I don't know if it's because I'm a woman or I remind them of some other relationships. Ask questions. Why she asking questions? She used to ask questions.
I like that
I have
shit.
no idea.
But see, this is
no
the
idea.
truth about the process, and it's like when you come from, and I'm not saying they don't come from professional environments, but they don't come from applying professional environments to these things. So what, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. I have to say it's just my opinion because there is no right opinion. Is you could tell that it's just a hobby for them when they don't apply professionalism. That scared shit out of me. When they don't apply professionalism to these spaces. Because if they did, then it would show. Even in its smallest form. It would be like, oh, I see the structure. I see we just need to tighten up on this, this, and this. But it's like, don't get defensive when somebody is trying to create an environment that makes everybody look better.
Yep.
It's like, we like the frame. What's wrong with the frame? Why you fucking... Ain't nothing wrong with the frame.
Right.
This is good frame.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's not.
Right.
And because I'm used to a structure, don't jab me for mentioning
And I was telling
the
him, I was
issue.
like, they were trying to make my question to be about that situation, but it could have not been. I come up with questions all the time. I ask questions. That's just me. That's what I do. It's like sometimes my shit is random, and sometimes it has purpose. But what's it to you? Who's it to you? Who are you to ask me why I'm doing anything? Just answer the fucking question. So I was just like, I didn't like that.
I want to see, so this is what challenges me in those spaces. If I was a man, would you be...
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
The whole thing
I don't
is-
think so. I really think it's a gender issue. I think sometimes...
I don't want it to be. I like to be wrong.
Right, but sometimes I think people hear things and they're like, that reminds me of so-and-so. Like, I had this discussion with my father.
That's like
if I
trauma.
ask him a question, to me, I feel like he's thinking I'm fussing at him like his wife. And it's like, look, dude, I'm just asking you a question so I can be clear, loud.
Right.
So, and I just felt like this was one of those situations. But he was like, man, I hate to see you go. I was planning on this.
They need
Then I
you.
found out that
They
I was
need you.
supposed to be more, that even though I was doing technical stuff, that actually they wanted me to be more communicative, on the mic more. And that's like, this was a plan.
But
that
did they ever express that plan to you?
No,
I mean, clearly they didn't, 'cause she
Well, I knew that I was supposed to be part. That's one of the reasons I was brought on, is so I could provide a different perspective, point of view, and all that kind of stuff. But I guess the balance of it wasn't as much as some part. Derek wanted it, so he wanted me to be more that way, and so I guess that was what the thought was going to happen.
So then the question, of course, would be how could they have gotten you to stay?
They wouldn't have. And in this circumstance, I don't think they could have, because, I'm soured. Like it's kind of. I've turned that corner.
That's it. Like,
and a lot of times, if I once I turn the corner, I'm kind of done. And I was like, the most I could do is just tell you what I've observed. And the thing is, I can't just be like, you need to, and you need. I'm not gonna do it like that, because it's just my perspective. It's my experience, I'm just saying this is what my experience was. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate it because it's always going to be about growth. And I go back and forth about stuff because I'm like, to even express the issues, especially when you've seen the lacks, I would probably be like, y'all ain't even worth this conversation because you're not going to understand it when I say it, so bye. And I just be like, I'm leaving. Holla. Like, you don't even deserve an articulate, detailed expression of my discontent. So, but that's usually, but they need to hear that because we're talking about formats and standards and regulations and execution of such. That's
talking
important.
about clubs and stuff like that.
We're talking about specifically a internet show that's every Sunday, and they are in an institution there at a college, IIT, and they do a radio show every Sunday, and they got a crew that facilitates it, and they have guests every week, and there's supposed to be like a regime for how they do things and crank out. And I was asked a couple weeks ago to be a part of the show, and I had a conversation, and he was supposed to follow up with the flyer and all the information, and I didn't get the information till the night before the show, and the flyer was out and circulating. And in addition to the fact that the day that I was supposed to do it, I wasn't feeling well, it just left that taste like, y'all got this space that's consistent and professional, and y'all up in here playing. And so, interestingly enough, I didn't say anything because I know why Drea was associated, because you want to be associated with these brands and these people who have, some type of formatted professional show. But when I just wondered from conception why she was down with them, because I didn't see any of that for myself. So then, Interestingly enough, then she doubles back after conversations, and she's just like, I'm about to quit. And I'm like, ooh. So
it was almost like, okay, we gonna wait. So I've had these conversations. Supposedly people supposed to know what they're supposed to do. Let me see if they do it. And sure enough, they didn't. And then I was like, okay. And why complain? To me, if I have to follow up with somebody else about somebody else's job, that right there is telling you there's a breakdown. So why do I have to actually say, why do so-and-so? Why do I have to inquire? Like, you should know that this is not happening the way it's supposed to. And I was like, the stuff has to be consistent. Because if it's not, then, you're never going to have a good product every time, which is what you're striving for.
I get it.
So it's just...
It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
That's grown people's conversation. I applaud you for at least expressing it, because that's going to do it.
What is it? Because I know it. I'm doing fine. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Who was it by? Put that heat crate up here.
Moody?
Yeah, Moody Man. That's right. That's where I know it from. Okay, thank you.
Kaloi.
That would have been bugging me. Like,
Oh, look until you got to a computer. But you
I
have me.
told him, I was like, I'm just telling you and Derek, and you guys can share it with the rest of the team when and how you feel like it. So, and it was, here's the irony: nobody was there today. It was just me and Rob. He was really a one-man shop. Like, I got there late, so I missed the interview with my guy. Heard him mix, but he was just a one-man shop. And then I was like, and I can't even stay. And, it was like, so.
But they all had, they gave note that they weren't going to be.
Yeah. People, let him know he was going to be out. But it's
I think that's
hard.
That's the thing. Like, I've been noticing a lot of DJs online asking all of these questions about these space, like, who's your favorite, this DJ, who's your favorite, what, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, I need for everybody to be a little more concerned about, I'm not saying prestige isn't important, because it is, like, your rank, who's your favorite, this, I'm more concerned about structures. because structures are going to create success.
Yeah.
And if the structure isn't right, then all this bigging up this particular DJ or whatever, like if you cannot achieve that level of success, it's because there's no structure. So we could sit around and talk about the Farleys and this person and this or that. Like, let's look at the frame of this motherfucker and like figure out what we need so we can continue and get
you have
those.
to have a plan, and you have to be able to execute it.
But they're distracted in the idea of, well, this person is famous, and it's like, come on,
They're
like,
distracted with the ego.
like yeah, and I'm like, and let's reconsider where we are as independent artists. I just feel like fame is what you make it, like how you impact people, and then whatever you think is feasible for your fee and your consistency for your career, that's what fame is to me. It's not, well, you're not Heather or you're not DJ Black Madonna or whatever, but look at consistency, look at structure, look at what you're able to do with your platform, not so much based on, well, she got 3,575 people following her.
You're
Like,
worrying about somebody else and fix your shit.
like, let's fix the structure so that everybody has the possibility of getting something out of it. That's me, though. I think very differently.
I mean, also, if you're an organization that's trying to be a foundation for other DJs to utilize,
How are you going to do that?
How can you do that if you don't have a process?
So it looks like a hobby, and that's again foundation, like creative structure. So when people come in, we don't have to have a conversation. Like they wanted the other day, Cheese said something that I thought was interesting. He was talking about how many DJs would you guess are in your city?
Right.
And of course, for me, I'm going, we know we have thousands upon thousands.
Who else?
We are a damn good city of DJs. We breed them. That's not the issue. I would rather talk about these venues. There's lack of sound systems. Their pay scales, and creating an environment that gives the whole experience so that if you as a DJ come into it, you gonna win. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the competition and who's one up in it.
It doesn't matter.
You got the new controller and he got, fuck that shit. If you rock, you deserve to have a place that gives you the opportunity to look as good and sound as good and get paid and feel good about it when you leave. That's my concern. Fuck all that. This is child's play, what y'all talking about. That shit don't matter to me. So when I brought it to the table, nobody, and these people are older than me, nobody ever wants to talk about that kind of shit. You get like a couple little likes. Here she come throwing salt on my...
No, it's not throwing salt. It's getting to the nitty gritty.
Hi, your monkey ass been doing this shit for 40 years.
I mean, that's just like in writing. I was with a group of playwrights, and we all came together, and they were like, oh, well, let's pay for our own. I'm like, let's write something good enough that people will pay us.
Pay us for it. Sponsorship.
What do you mean?
Let's get to that point. And it's not a diss. So somebody my best friend had to remind me. She said, everybody isn't in it for what you're in it. That's perfectly fine. I don't care if you do it part-time. I don't care if you drive a truck, you're IT, whatever your thing is, I don't care. All I'm saying is, regardless to how frequently or infrequently you do it, I just feel like the seriousness that you have it is going to affect our possibilities. So let's stop playing. Let's just stop like, well, and if you're a hobby-minded person, then stay out of professional motherfucking conversations. And I'm sorry because, and nobody's going to say, I didn't go to school for it. I don't have a certificate. I have associations with stand-up venues that say that she's been doing it long enough that we acknowledge her. But I'm talking about real fucking professionalism. And when you put it to people in that context, there's always that, I don't want to admit that I've been hobbying at this motherfucker for 40 years. Chop that shit up now, because you standing in the way of progress. And I'm tired.
It's messing me up. Hand me baby stuff. I'm finna go.
Okay.
Girl, where you come from with all this?
No, but I feel that.
I'm feeling it.
I feel that.
I'm passionate still. I'm passionate, and some of us have worked very, very hard to continue to look professional, to get opportunities, and then you come back, and I don't ever come back from a place of, I just found this Sade, so I need to put it in the jacket and give it to you as well.
You dropped something too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's the Sade. Thank you. I'm just, like, we're still very serious. Some of us are still very serious. And for the sake of the fact, I know cats who can get in places and get really good opportunities, and they fuck them up. So you won't ever get the opportunity to come and show yourself, because now there's a stigma that goes along with being a DJ from Chicago. I know cats who are acclaimed, who traveled and gotten really good compensations for what they do, and they go over there and they blow it. And they don't think about the idea that somebody else is looking to try to do what they did to get to those places. They ain't even thinking about the rest of us who are feverishly trying to. And it's selfish to me. So yeah, I get an attitude. Fuck, I don't give a fuck. Look, now I gotta go calm down.
Got hot.
Because I stay hot. Because
But I think
it's unfair to people who are really working hard.
I think that happens.
And I'm in the wrong. That's why I'm quiet mostly. Look at these, Tracy.
I mean, that
I'm
happens.
quiet mostly because I'm like, I gotta save my energy for shit for my
Right, for your own, yeah.
and that's what I was saying earlier to you, Tracy, about Mimi. Because I'm like, stand down, baby, because
Stand down.
he like,
I mean,
Over here peeking.
I mean,
stand down, baby. You have to be careful about where you plant your plant those spaces, because you got tons of people who are watching, and that's why I used to be all in it, and I would do my live streams and talk about topics and stuff, and I'm like, these people. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not.
what you mean these people?
Some of them, they can't appreciate it.
Oh, you just gonna take that away?
I think some people. I think you like, no, she's not taking. They already paid for it. Right.
Yeah.
So,
The other ones that you told me not to forget.
yes, I'm trying to figure out where I put them this quickly. That's what happens when you run your mouth. But
You don't want that?
look at
there.
see, now you get David's strategy.
Right, I see him over here.
Like, hold on, girl, what she
got some
got?
taste.
What she got? What she got?
You got some taste.
At the
I see you do. I like it.
But yeah, so
I mean,
I'm just gonna sit back down.
please, this is what happens when you're doing 1,000 trillion things, going through your emotions. But so I don't want to waste. I want, like, it ain't even about us no more. You over 50. At this point, you sitting online arguing about shit. It's a waste of time. It is.
Waste of energy.
It's just a waste of time and energy, and you can most certainly do a little service for everybody by just shutting the fuck up. Huh?
Yeah.
And make art.
Just
Yeah,
create art.
your art.
That's it. You're in it for the art, not for the...
But these same people, see, it's a long line of conversation that I think.
I think people don't know why. Some people know why they do it, and I think some people don't. They don't know why they do it. So.
I know, girl. See, that's how the Lord just be doing stuff. It's coming. Let me
Fix it, Jesus.
just be. Look, everybody be still
Fix it, Jesus.
and let me think. No. No.
We still. You don't.
Right, look, right. I can't think. Somebody moving. Look, somebody moving. I can't think. Be quiet. Everybody be
You got
quiet.
another one? You got another Quincy Jones over there?
Of course I do, but you was hating on Quincy the other day. I was about to punch you in your throat. Like you're not, look, like you're not from Chicago.
Wait.
Like you're not from Chicago. You know who
Wait,
Quincy
first of all,
Jones is? I bet you didn't watch Black Godfather the other day either. I bet you didn't watch the Black Godfather, did you? Get up out of here, Dave.
There's a Black
Take your man.
Godfather?
Look. On Netflix, you need to watch The Godfather, The Black Godfather. I watched it the other day. I watched it 3 times. It's the shit.
Really?
It's the shit. And nobody, like, we don't know him. But he was a deal maker, like, and still does it. Like, he was a deal maker from, like, the late 60s, early 70s, 80s, babyface, hip-hop. He has touched everybody in the industry. This black man did deals for. I knew he was an Aquarian. I knew he was. Okay, girl, I will bring them home. I know, look at her emotions about it, but I can't find them. So you know what? I'm gonna have to bring them.
Give me one more Quincy.
And I asked your ass to hold them, and you told me to put them back, didn't you? Because I knew
There, and I thought you put them up.
Mercury is going retrograde, kids. Having said that, all I ask is gonna be in the streets fighting before it's all said and done. I put them back, didn't I?
Up top.
I did. I felt like I put them back where I was supposed to put them.
Wait, you got more?
That's David. I'm gonna pop you, David, today. You want to be mad if I pop them? I know you pop them all the time.
It was a colorful one.
I know, but
I mean, it was several.
I know. I don't know where I put them in the moment. In Jesus'
They're not
name.
up. They're not up there.
Up top.
They're not. They're up top. These are all. What's the name's pile? This is not the pile with the Prince and the Sade. That's what I'm saying. You just got to work with me in this moment.
Selena Johnson. What I see in here? Maria. Oh.
I might have sat them on top of something. They went up. I thought.
That ain't DJ Khaled. That is Santana.
I can't see you putting them in between because.
Now, David, do you want a copy? The dude, I think you have a copy of it.
I have it.
Okay, we're not gonna have a conversation about that.
Oh, wait. What's that De La Soul right
It's
now?
not in here yet.
Aww.
It's perfect for fanning. You saw me put it up there. It was like, wow. It's a purple one. That's the 1999 album. Right. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I slid through somewhere. We got slide.
She got
This is what happens when you run your mouth and talk shit. Just give me a second, Tracy. She's like, okay. Look at her face. She's about to go into a thing. Look, they're here. That's all you need to know. She's like, I want them now. And I gave them to your ass. I did. Is everybody on crack today besides me? I didn't take anything. That's
Okay. What'd you say?
Either way, it's some kind of interesting reaction I see. I think I see there.
Oh, now look, she touching the record you growing grass. Like, what you got?
I think that's the one.
That's right.
Girl, if you come over here, it's right. It don't matter what.
It's gonna be
But you
what?
can look.
What are you looking for?
Not in here.
Not right here. Oh, hey, you gonna go in?
Yeah, because I just put shit where I put it in. You can't pick it up. This is called, is this OA?
Yeah. Menopause. Yeah. Pretty happy doing stuff like that.
I don't like
I don't even want to start. I know it's some plastic.
So you're already out there? Huh? You're already out there? DJ? Yeah.
DJ. Yeah, DJ,
You
right?
came from festival or something?
No, I did a set at my house
Oh, at your house?
on Sundays. Yeah, from 12 to 2. I broadcast on TV.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
And then I broadcast live. But then I upload it to my YouTube channel, and then I kind of circle back from.
You also got a
Facebook
YouTube
and
channel.
stuff. Oh yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start following you.
I did a private gig. But yeah, I DJ. I'm DJing Wednesday at they're having this house pub crawl, so they just ran a bunch of buses and just crawled
cool.
to different bars in the south side.
Just be picking shit up.
It's on the weekend, I'm down for it. But during the week, I don't do nothing.
Yeah, I got you.
I like work and working out and doing that.
CDs.
Like, I was at the beach all week yesterday.
Yeah, we rode a long way. We rode about 10 miles. Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, on Saturday I did like close to 30.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
Oh, here's a prize.
all this down.
Me too.
Man, look at Prince and his whole androgynous look.
In Jesus' name, I pray. That's what happens when you get old.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
I've never seen that cover.
I was him for Halloween. I didn't do the panties thing, so I didn't have clothes on underneath, but I pulled the jacket.
That dude,
close.
that dude doing too much right there.
But that's why people started looking at him. He knew what he had to do. He had to go, you know. Show up in some panties. Somebody gonna look at you. we gonna put David in some panties and hat. We gonna do his DJ set.
Nah, I'm good. I'm
He
good.
was very
Look
experimental.
for pride. Oh, she said we do that at home. We don't do that.
Ain't nobody need to be seeing my fiblets.
Fiblets. Very cute.
You know what fiblets are, right? Bob?
No.
It's like the bottom part of your
I pull boxes.
Those are that's what
Man,
fiblets
yes,
are.
I know.
Yes, but I didn't pipe them
Today we're about to
because we all thought
Food Plus.
Oh, you're fat above.
Yeah. Which
Wait, who
that's
said
the
that?
first time I ever heard at the radio station.
Oh, you never heard of
I
Convo?
never heard of it. I know what it is once you described it to me, but I know it had a name. And then I watched the reality show and they were talking about it. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's a real thing.
Yeah.
all I know is baby.
Yeah. Don't worry, we all got them.
I was thinking today I really need to work out.
Used to be a buck.
I
But I'm
was
trying, Jesus.
I was 110
Fix it,
pounds
Jesus.
when we got together.
Oh, my bad.
Last swallow. That last swallow.
Go ahead, the car's right there.
That's the spit.
Bring the car over here.
What?
Go get the
That's
car.
I already refilled it from the car when I went.
I knew it was some sipping.
Hey, this is my.
Y'all should have came to Chit Chat last night. The punch was
What?
amazing.
Chit Chat? Where is Chit Chat at? 'Cause my
I was
mom
supposed to go to
Chit Chat been around a long time.
No. This is a newer one.
Okay.
It's 416 displays.
Okay. Oh, is it displays? Isn't it like Forest Park?
No. It's Grand. It's close to the Grand Halstead and Milwaukee,
Okay.
and it's in a
Yeah.
awkwardly.
Yeah.
It's like almost in like a cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's sexy.
Yeah, it almost looked like you need a password to get up in there.
They really should.
Like the drop?
Like
I
there's
like
no, there's
Like the
there's
drop?
there's not. I wouldn't call it signage, but there is advertisement for it.
Yeah,
Like you
because
kind of
it's
have
the
to be
list.
looking for it.
The lips are on the
Yeah,
the
on
wall of the bite
Painted, yeah.
So you walk down the wall and you go back, and there's some stairs that go down, and then you open the door, and it's a longer group of stairs that you go down. So it's like a sub basement almost.
And it's got like this light outside. It's like,
I like
Okay.
that.
is this the spot?
I had some buddies come by last night and they were like, "We love this place. How'd you find this?" I was like, "They found me." But they also have a music director that grabs me.
There you go. That's when it's good. Keep those close.
What you?
Okay, then with my baby music. First one, that first one, that one.
Danielle, you ever heard of this song?
And she called me by my full name and shit, like Fathom DJ name up in this one. Oh, no, she called. See, that's why I don't like Facebook like that, because people be calling you by your whole name and shit. Like, we in the, getting our damn driver's license done or some shit. She said, Danielle. Go on, you know I gotta have a look at her face.
Am I, because we're in the crates, we don't, I have to look at
It takes me out of my art vibe
Okay,
when you
right.
do that. I feel like, you know, I'm in the line trying to get my ID.
Right, you need your Sasha Fierce going on, not your.
Something. Like, we in the crates that says I'm not Danielle Absent.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's say revolution. That's it.
I actually bought a Gigio Augustino
I know.
record the other day because when you mentioned them.
But that's not
Like,
not the one. That's
Like the first time you were here with Reggie, you're like, oh, that's Gigio Augustino. Like, have you ever heard of? And I'm like, no. And then I bought one of his records and it was pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I liked it. Can I see that? Can I see that house box? Can I see that house box?
Hold on, David. Please, I'm trying to help this woman get out of here. It's not being made easier in my schedule. I'm about to go through a thing. I'm not. I'm really. It's just like I'm like thinking shit is funny. God damn it. Ah, pretty funny, motherfucker. See, and I keep putting these here because these are what I'm looking for. So there's some of them that are doing
It's a remix of the,
album.
I like it.
it's dope, right?
It's nice and smooth, jazzy.
The original is much slower and she's more.
No. I don't think so.
I love that.
Thank you.
Who is that? She sounds like Monique Bingham a little bit.
Ellis.
It's old.
Kelly. Hyman?
Oh yeah, Khalees, I guess.
It's old.
Yeah. It's a remix of it.
I like it.
So today I did a did a homage to DJ Ray Dilla.
How many do you have on?
He's made several mixes that I have, and I just pulled some of his songs and other songs that I thought he would do too, and I just made a mix.
You ain't the only one.
Tracy came up in here and rubbed on her sofa a little bit. That means it's gonna leave soon.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Okay, that's.
Why you playing with me?
Hey! In Jesus' name. I'm having to rub that. I ain't got no alcohol. That's water. I might need a drink, bitches.
Go ahead.
10? Okay.
You wanna go get it?
Shit.
And here. Go in
You want me to
the.
go get a chaser?
Yeah, here.
Because we don't have a chaser. Hold on, I got
What do you want me to get to chase it with?
I don't know.
I should have put the
7 Up?
motherfucker.
We got dark liquor. What do you want to chase it with? Something. I know. I'm usually a light liquor girl myself, but today I'm ride or die, ride or die.
Oh, something happened. You want to talk about it? Look, we talk when you get back. I don't know. Whatever.
Bring Sierra.
Like a Coke, a Sprite, or
Sierra Miss.
Sierra Mist.
That's fine.
With
7 Up or
whiskey?
ginger ale. Ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
Okay.
Ginger ale.
I'll be right spot.
Please. There we go.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Had those,
Right, I'm
Had-
feeling for real.
had those fuckers like out there acting like a fool.
Who?
Those guys out there.
Wait a minute, baby. I'm
When
walking
we first
out
got here.
I don't know where y'all parked them.
They parked in the front.
Oh, okay.
You gotta go to the side.
I
this
gotta go
side.
back this way.
To the
Yeah,
left.
Tanya, just grab the car and come back over here when you're done, okay?
All right, baby.
And park in front of the
So I can get home and
decent hour.
get ready to, well, charging for one, and then I get up at like 4:30 in the morning.
I will put my hands on them, Tracy.
Ouch.
Please just be patient with me. I don't know what I
Usually wake
did.
up at 5:30.
I wake up without an alarm clock just because I know. What'd you say, Danny?
Yeah, please be patient with me, child. I know what I did.
And I don't
I
even
know.
need like my
Baby,
alarm or anything.
I'm just go
The
home.
internal clock.
Because it's time to get up. And I'm, look at my face.
Not for that.
The,
Like this morning.
the
I woke
hot
up
flash,
at
the
6,
menopause thing kicking in.
and like it's the
So I
weekend.
really gotta go. I'll see you later.
Understood. Okay.
Get that.
It doesn't know.
Love you, girl.
Love you,
Thank you so
baby.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't hurt nobody on the way home.
I'm on just on them yesterday.
All right.
Y'all be alright.
We had a good time.
Y'all have a good evening, okay? David,
Okay, so we were also
meeting
talking.
you
Look, we
too.
still recording. We were also talking about the concept of what you think getting festivals requires, because I heard recently that some people are submitting proposals. Have you heard that?
DJs submitting proposals?
To be
To-
Should be a
part
mixtape, right?
To what?
Should be a mixtape. Like, let me listen to your mixtape.
to be a part of these festivals. Yeah.
you know that police, is that in this stack or that other one?
You could look in your stack, because I can't tell you.
I don't think so. I think it's in that other one. All right, baby.
Okay.
So they're submitting a proposal to identify
No, proposals to talent buyers. You know, the talent buyers are the ones who book the talent for the festivals every year.
Okay.
As I understood prior, it was based on either them knowing of your work, which is you promoting and branding and marketing yourself as you would and being associated with particular venues or particular promoters. But I was reading a post, and somewhere in that post, somebody mentioned, did you submit a proposal for that festival? And I can't remember who it was. It was a couple months ago. Said,
Do you think
yes,
that-
she did.
Do you think that's necessary?
I think you do whatever is required to get opportunities.
I mean, like,
And if that means that writing a proposal,
I think a proposal is more professional, wouldn't you say?
I'm still.
aren't these professional endeavors?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
still
All
trying
of
to
them.
understand the concept of proposal to be on a
The talent?
festival.
Well, because,
Yeah,
like, think
like
of
what
it
is the proposal? What I can do for you?
what I can
like-
bring to the festival, why
Yeah.
you should book me. I think it makes a little sense.
I think you gotta listen to
Is
someone's
that
music
how?
Huh?
to
Maybe,
know
maybe
if you
they-
want to book them.
They definitely should. I mean, you definitely should have what I consider to be standards, which is, you know, a working bio and a working, you know, like kind of portfolio of mixes and stuff that they could reference. You know, I would say if I had to create a standard, I would say that you needed to have at least a few original production pieces on the market. You know, have a working group of residencies at places that we, you know, are in areas maybe where the festivals might be, because that's going to draw talent from that area. So, like, if you're doing the Wicker Park Fest, which is coming up, I think, then they pull from their venues and the clubs in that area. So if you're trying to be a part of that roster, then you need to anchor down and find venues in that area and get on their, you know, get on their list of nights. But I don't know if that means that somebody is being handed something and they're
Yeah.
considering them. That's what it said to me.
Yeah, it sounds, formal, I guess, is what I'm
Right.
saying. It sounds like a formal document with stuff, you know,
And,
like you're
like,
saying,
yeah.
like references and what you're referring to versus like
And angles.
versus just an email with
Hi, I'm
links
such and such, and I want to
here's
be
my
right.
here's my
Your
EPK, my EPA.
isn't your EPK
is
clearly is
connected.
not a proposal. It's a part of it, I would assume, but not the glue.
You know what? If I hadn't heard that, I never would have thought to do it that way. I would
Right,
have
but
probably
that's
just
why-
find a contact person,
Send them your
identify my information, send
Right.
my EPK, my website, which
What's an
has
EPK?
it.
electronic press kit.
Which
So
is
that's
basically like
your
it's-
bio,
it's
your
just
links to
an
your
electronic
mixes,
document. It's
a
just
couple,
document.
yeah,
That's
a
all
couple
it's
of, you know, high-res photos of yourself, all of your social media handles and where they can see your numbers, maybe some footage of yourself DJing somewhere. Yeah, so it's just how it's like a mini version of your website.
Right.
Like all of the high points, and you just, you know, present them in a format where people can easily get through and read them.
Do that through Instagram, no?
But see, this is the thing. A talent buyer may not have the time, and as our Instagram pages now look like my Instagram, my Fathom DJ, you know, I got several, but my Fathom DJ Instagram page is formatted for a talent buyer. It's not formatted for, I add like random shit, but it's really formatted so when they look at it, they can go, oh, she's playing here, and this is what she does here and here. Most of our Instagram pages don't organically look like that.
So this is my first page. This is my bio, and then I have a page that kind of talks about places that I've performed, and then my contact. Like for me, it's not.
Wow.
And then this collage of pictures.
Right.
That's dope.
That's how it should look.
That's dope.
But like, so your Instagram page isn't gonna, like a normal
It's not a
Instagram page is
summary.
not gonna look like
it's
that,
not a
and a
summary.
talent buyer
Kinda go out.
isn't gonna take the time to dig up your content. So this is where you frame it, so it hits all the points that they need to look at in order to determine whether they want to work with it or not. It's a standard, but these are like things that I wouldn't say. Look, the bottom line is, if you spend a lot of time on Facebook arguing, and I ask you, do you have that shit? This is the shit that should shut you the fuck up. Where's your EPK? Where's your website? Where are your high-res photos? You all on this good internet talking shit? You don't have that? Redirect your energy. So you don't get an opportunity to be upset. Because this is where our challenge is as DJs. Everybody don't have that challenge. There's, you know, a whole community of DJs who don't argue and bitch and create issues in our music community. But then there's another group of DJs who are sitting around and they causing problems. And they won't simply do what's necessary to garner the interest of these festivals. So you can't be mad and throw rocks at DJs who are prepared for those opportunities and get them. My thing is, I don't have a lot of time to be mad. Whatever they did, I'm going to go and try to figure out what the fuck it was so that I can get to that place.
Right. Yep.
But that's not where the Facebook drama and the comes from.
You know what? And I also think it depends on what you're trying to go for, because
some people don't want all that.
Right. Some people don't want it. Sometimes they'll just say, "Just send me your EPK." That's all
right.
they want.
But you gotta have it.
You gotta have.
You gotta
it,
have.
yes.
I want to have everything. I want to have enough.
Right.
That I can at least be competitive, or at least be on the standard of what the expectations of the talent buyer would be.
Right.
You know, like for venues, you don't have the same expectations. Like what I'm doing for my new endeavor is going to be similar to that. If you don't have an Instagram page, if you don't have a website, then how are we going to make sure to get the best out of your product? Should I stand around and wait for you to figure it out? Or should I say, I suggest that you get an EPK and a website, and that way, when I present it to my boss, we have all the information to be able to determine.
Is that what you're?
Yeah, it's part of what I'm going to do.
You're gonna be a talent buyer?
Yeah, I'm gonna help book the DJs who play at the restaurant.
They need somebody like you.
They do, and I'm worthy of it now. I wasn't before. Like, I knew 10, 12 years ago that I was on the path to the business of my business. I've been DJing for well over 25, almost 25 years. But just circulating on a hobby basis is where I was for the most part of that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I need better opportunities. I need to get myself to the point where I can get better gigs and not have to work as often. Because, like, of course, you can get $150 a day. But if you get an opportunity that could pay you $5,000 or $7,000, that means you don't have to do all this stuff as often unless you just want to. And there's a necessity in doing both. Because it's like me playing in a venue in an area that's pretty hot says that I'm garnering, not only the patrons' interest, but also, the area's interest. And then me getting these bigger opportunities says this is the reason why these people in this area want to work with you and vice versa. So it's a two-way street. But we gotta, if you focus like that. And I'm like, for hobbyists, like, okay, a hobbyist, well, I'm a DJ today and then I'm not going to DJ for 5 months. I'm a DJ tomorrow. I'm not going to go and put money into building my sound. I'm not going to go and put money into purchasing all of this gear in an effort to be prepared for opportunities. Yeah. So we have to... Yeah,
that's interesting you say that because...
That's good.
Like I was showing you the other day my flyer. So right. I picked them up on Tuesday, and then it's just a matter of passing them out, just doing it.
Right.
Telling people.
Right.
This is who I am. This is where you can hear my music.
Yeah.
This is how you can book me.
And you don't know who you're gonna meet. You never know who you're gonna be. And at this point, we should, if you're serious about it, and I think that's where people are misdirected, because I think some people really never realize, and they still don't realize that they hobbyists. When I think about...
That's what I said, like, I don't think people know. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
They don't know.
Don't
know. They don't know what they want or what they want, so then you can't figure out how to get what it is that you want.
Right, right. And so
the funny thing is, like, even this idea is not my idea. It was another DJ told me they did, and I was like, oh, okay. So, but I'm a sponge, so I'll be
added to the repertoire.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's
one more thing to do.
It's one more thing to do. I mean, and then there's the reinvention of it. So you get 3-4 years. Like my professional photo shoot is almost 5 years old now, so I got to re-up. And then that re-up comes with the cost of recreating my website, adding the new content, re-envisioning how people are going to perceive it. So it's a consistent process. That's a part of the work. Now, you got 1-2 ways to do it. You can do it yourself. You can hire a publicist to package and then direct you. You need to make sure that you go to these events and that you get interviewed by these people. Do this red carpet. Do this. Show up. Look a particular way. Present yourself in a manner so that you garner the interest, and I can run out and say, she was at the such and such awards, and she went to so-and-so, and she spoke at this thing, and all of that. And you have to be mindful that you're doing those things. So for me, in any capacity, even just grabbing photos when you at certain events to mark that you were there, then taking that content home and going, last week I spoke on this panel. These are the photos from that. It's a lot of work. It's business, though. This is the end of the shit that says, this is why I deserve a $7,000 gig. This is why somebody should fly me out to Hawaii or Vegas or Ibiza. See, some people get it by luck, though. It's cats who...
How do you get it by luck?
Lucky. Like, the question...
Right place,
right time. So lucky for me was going to Atlanta, DJing at the Sound Table, which is a staple for good music, and having the president of a event production company see me in that space, and him going, I want you to work with us on a couple projects. Just being there, that's luck. So then my thing is, if I was lucky enough to get that opportunity and he was impressed by what he saw of me online, repeat and expand on it. Oh. Look, he's waving like she was somebody we didn't know. I'm going, we gotta She's like, yes, girl. She said I got the juice.
Went to go get cups?
Oh, she's being a hostess.
What?
Love that.
Well, you can't just bring something back for you like you the only one here. You know, so that's the rest of the liquor I poured in the cup. I did not open that, of course.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you can pick your poison at the...
I really just need this.
Really?
Look at Drea.
Do you want something, Drea?
Oh, no.
We got another one
Y'all
of
have a
those in
bar.
the car.
Look, y'all got a
that I
bar
have
in
not
the
drank
car.
out of.
They got a bar in the car.
They don't fuck around.
Sounds like it.
Y'all professionals.
So we have another ginger ale in the car. I have only
Thank you.
poured some here. I have not drank out of it
It's just like,
because I don't like other people's spit, so I imagine people don't like mine either.
She said, no spittle for me, no spittle for you. Thank you.
Exactly. So do you want to taint your ginger ale, please, or do you want to?
What is it? Gin? Vodka?
It is whiskey.
She scared me when she said that.
Oh, the way I said it, whiskey.
I like my virgin ginger ale.
So, well, if you do, there's a cup. There's the liquor, and
I
I will
know
go
we
back
don't
to the
want no
car.
musty ass flies on everything. I know
Right.
that. Oh. So the punch I had last night was lethal, and I didn't realize it. Somebody else who doesn't drink either much had to tell me that because I was tripping last night.
Were you?
I was.
You tripped?
Didn't I? I feel like I just had a moment a little while ago, but the equipment wasn't acting right when I got there. Look,
Technical difficulties?
I'm gonna give you the whole scenario because we got time in this space. So I got there, and the last time I played there, everything went well. Like I didn't, I hadn't.
Where was this place?
Chit Chat.
The Chit Chat, okay.
So the mixer is a mixer I hadn't played on before, but all mixers are standard, so it's like whatever. And I'm using the little Serato Denon DVS box that you
Okay.
plug in and
Yeah.
the Pioneer PXL 1000. Plug it up, everything works. That was last month. This month I get there, do the same thing, and I can't get no lines out of the channels, no read, no nothing. Calibrated everything, went into my preferences, made sure everything was where it's supposed to be, came out, pulled up, nothing. So I immediately start sweating. When I'm nervous, sweat it looks like somebody takes water and just drops it on my head and it just runs down my face. So I'm just like, and so Brandon, my comrade for the evening, the bartender he was like, I had a little trouble. I couldn't get the monitor to work.
You can get the what?
The monitor. Like he couldn't get audio out of the monitor.
Ooh, you didn't tell me this before now.
Right. And see, so I don't normally take everything anywhere because they don't pay us enough to do that. And, I've been robbed before, so I ain't trying to have all my shit out in, any form.
Exactly.
So, and I like that they have turntables and a mixer, so I'm trying to I'm trying to make my setup to that slim and easy. So anyway, couldn't get that shit to work. I don't like to play internally. I don't like to use the computer only and just drag and drop and that little crossfader. It's not my favorite because I'm a hand girl. That's why all this shit exists.
That's why you a DJ.
Well,
For real.
I don't want to
Not a record player.
Right. I don't want to take credit from people who are skilled at using technology in that way. But I'm a hand girl. I make shit with my hands.
You like the old school.
This is my truth to that. So Brandon is like, oh, girl, don't be tripping. He's the bar manager. So, the bar manager is just like, cool, I can't worry about it. But as soon as I realized that the shot he was like, here, you need a drink. So he hit me with the punch. And the punch was not no pump. But I grabbed that girl. I was like, because I'm struggling right now. Anyway. I had fun, shit. After I got over it, I was just like, it is what it is.
So what did you end up doing?
I played internally. And, I know.
So you did the drag and drop.
Yeah.
She did what it
And
did.
then, I mean, you can blend them, but you can, like, you could tell, like, I don't know if you...
But they
you-
come blended.
No, they don't come pre-blended, motherfucker.
No. No,
No.
but you
We're not
got
doing
the setup.
that. We're not cheating. We're not cheating.
You got,
Ain't
you
no
got the
pre-blends.
setup all on the same BPM, so like it's just
That,
drag
but
and
no,
drop.
it's not.
No.
Because what we're talking about when you are doing these, you're listening to the sound and you're finding things that match key
Right.
of the
Those
tune.
counts.
tempo of the tune, and feel. So, and regardless to the fact that you got sync buttons on there, they gonna blend, but that shit is not going to sound good unless you have an ear that says you can pick and program
Exactly.
so that they sound and feel consistent.
Once they sound good. So
And
they
it
sound good.
transitions.
It's different.
It's
It's
it
not
is.
the same.
So yeah, you could. And you can hear the difference between somebody who
can.
just you totally can.
Yeah.
So on the dash of the Serato program, there's that little crossfader, and when you pull it to the middle, the sound from one side lowers. And I don't use it that much, so I don't know how to tweak that, so you can't tell. And then so the other thing that was wrong was I didn't have my external jack for cueing, so I couldn't hear to properly cue and make sure my shit was on point. So I got to the point I went from playing hip hop, and I feel like if I need to cue anything properly and more on point, it's hip hop. House music, you're gonna get 16 bars of just intro to figure it out. So I just got to the point probably around like 11:30. The rest of my set was house. Because I was just like, regardless of what happens, I know I can filter through those sections. It wasn't what I wanted to play house, but I didn't expect to, because house music is going underground again with people who are under the age of 35. They don't want nothing to do with it. Like, you got to trick.
Yeah. I can see that.
A lot of cats I like, a lot of young people, like at the walk-in, they were specific in asking me not to play any house. I was like, bitch, I'll make house music. You ain't about to have me come. So, and of course,
That's
there's.
so weird that you would say that. But you're in the culture, you know. So I mean,
It's true though.
I
If you
mean,
look
like-
at the babies want to hear trap or trap like or dub or something that's not so associated with all these older 50-year-olds that's marching up and down the street trying to continue their legacy without incorporating younger people. We have to say that because they ain't checking for us.
Yeah, you have to incorporate
The
like,
youth.
old styles with the new. Like
You should.
I know. I would know.
But
Like, we were
the elders ain't trying to hear the youth, and the youth ain't
no,
trying to hear
because
the elders.
Same
That's
with
ego.
writing, everything
That's
is
ego.
Yes, it is.
That's ego.
It's ego to the highest point.
Like, you know, it's just like, you know, like I was telling this to my friend, you know, like sometimes, you know, we're gonna be the old cats of being like, you know, that music ain't shit, but like back in the day, that's how they said
But it was
about
the same.
hip-hop
That's the same
and stuff like
rhetoric.
that. And they're
It's
like,
the same rhetoric.
and it's not really. So like, what we have to do is kind of like make our own like little small blend and get it, you know, get it to where, you know, the youth can feel it.
Yeah, but
that's
and the
what
hard
everybody
part
does.
too is wanting to incorporate those artists. And that's where a lot of people don't want to, you know, elders are like, I ain't adding no trap rapper to my house music. I ain't about to play. Kanye can't be on the remix or, you know, Lil whatever
No,
these.
yeah, I don't even understand that because I mean, like, all music is supposed to transcend like any boundary, even the boundary of like and dislike.
I mean, you even have this. They don't call it trap gospel, but it sounds like trap.
And
It's
trap soul and
it's
trap yoga.
They
and
do.
Trap beats,
They do.
but it's
Trap,
gospel.
They
whatever
do. It's
it
like
is.
Christian rap. Like it sounds harder than Eminem. It's like I'll be listening. I'm like, man, I'm about to go praise the Lord.
Praise trap. This praise trap. This praise and worship.
Like,
trap.
It's a song. It's like, I love God.
Yes.
You don't love God.
Yes.
What's wrong with you? It's
true.
and all this like this piano.
It's true.
Get
I
the
love
organ
God.
part.
They be bouncing. They bounce. They like in the
What's
church.
wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
It's
I love him. 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 I love him.
It's
And then he
true.
goes, like they get down. I'm like,
It's true, like-
this is so dumb. Why are you in the church? Like, but
So
then
you
you
go
get him
until
with
you
somebody-
break that real.
God damn. Take it too
Right,
far.
that's that praise hip hop.
You always got
I'm
one,
sorry, Jesus. I
always
took it
one.
too far. You remember that one? You remember that one video where the girl, the woman was at the desk and her son was in front of her, and he was like, "Oh, who they want? Flip, and his mama was in the background, and she was like doing this, and then she got up, and he was like, "Whoa, whoa!"
TMI, man.
She was like, "I was on the pole, Jesse. I was on the pole. I was feeling myself. I was like, that's intersectionality, though.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's like crossing
Yeah.
genres and ages, and everybody
But it
just."
does, and I was actually having this conversation with her, with like DJ AM, like
Yes.
like
Rest
he
in
was
peace, rest in peace.
like he was such an amazing DJ, like he crossed all them type of genres, like stuff that you wouldn't even hear, and that's what that's what's dope about like music, that sometimes that little
See,
mix,
and some of us
that
take-
little mix that like
Yeah, but see, and some of us are
That
taking a
blend.
beating for doing that. Like
Anya, where you going?
she said, I got to go to the car. She's like, I'm going to the car. I'll be right back. Continue. Right, she was in the middle of a thought. Don't stop the flow, bro.
It's getting dark, and we're in a not it's so nice neighborhood, so
Oh, it is.
I worry.
Don't leave me.
Oh, that's nice of you. She like, it ain't getting dark
You got a
yet.
whole hour and a half, 90
This
minutes.
summertime, David. You paranoid.
At least an hour.
Yo,
Don't be paranoid.
yo, that old lady walking at 12 o'clock at night and got smashed by a cop car. Like, come on, like, it's not always
Did I see
nice,
that?
huh? On Division and what happened on what was it? Division and Laramie, where two cop cars collided and the car flew and hit like an older lady.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, man.
I understand. And that's good. too.
I just
but
worry.
look, it ain't 8:30 yet, so you're good.
I just worry.
I appreciate that. But you know what? I agree with you because, but you know what? I think what has to be said, because we're talking about a few different worlds. We're talking about my prerogative on 12-inch. Somebody would appreciate that.
I mean, you could just put that on the side for me, but that's fine.
Okay, right here.
I do what I want to do.
And it's a pretty decent copy too. But like for instance, I think we have to make sure to be specific about this is the fact that our house community, which is different, the African American house community, have an unspoken group of standards based on their idea of what house is. Now,
Yeah, but that's old way of thinking.
it is old, and it's not true either, because I know.
But then again, you know what? I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No.
But like Chicago, like I don't know what it is about Chicago artists. I don't care what they're doing, hip hop, DJing, anything. They don't like to work together, network together. They're always about like competition and hating
It's a
on each
lot of
other. It's
hatred
always
because of the insecurities.
you know?
That's ego and insecurity.
and like they never like help each other out, man. Like there's only a few people that build together, and that's.
And mostly what ends up happening is part of the reason why people go to other regions, because it's like I think it's a few things. So, well, I think there's the thing too. The Midwest is a blue collar town.
It is.
Having said that, we don't see enough success from enough. I want to say acknowledged success to compare it to what blue collar success looks like for us. So if you don't have consistent staples to mark what we see as blue collar success, like, well, which of your DJs have excelled to the level that they've been able to buy houses and cars and create a whole career that stands up to what Chicago and the Midwest is conservatively, then y'all shit ain't nothing. And that's the way it looks. So when you take it to a space like New York and being arts driven and creative, their platforms are prepared to push and support those artists. Chicago ain't prepared for that. Regardless to what the climate currently says, it's like a wave. It's not consistent.
Yeah, but Chicago's always been a music town and it's always continued to be.
But
we're a staple.
We're not. Like corporate. Anybody who
Well,
builds, nobody's creating labels here. There's no music industry. This is where we practice.
Well, it's because other people are leaving.
Everybody's consistently
everybody's
leaving for a reason. Going to places where we're here and everybody is creating the package. But the package has nowhere to go here that says it's ready. I'm ready. You get your package ready, you're going to New York, you're going to LA, you're going overseas, you're going to Atlanta.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
You're going to Florida, you're going somewhere else with your wares. There's no foundation. It should be. We have moments. We have little. Okay, so look at R. Kelly. Probably the wrong person. Common. Kanye. Chance. Now Chance is kind of changing stuff a little bit because he hasn't.
Chance is fading out. So,
he has independent associations that give him, you don't have to leave, but in order for Chance to make that glue stick, and you're right, there's a fade that's happening right now because of the fact that he's not associated with any bigger labels.
Now he's starting to fade. I don't like that because I think Chance is somebody that comes from a spoken word background, and I like
he
it.
does, Brother Mike. That's Brother Mike's legacy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Brother Mike. That's his legacy, and he built that school of MCs. Yeah. But a few other people, came out of that camp as well with him. But again, if you don't subscribe to a place that's foundationalized in supporting those particular interests, we don't want it. I assume. You can't flourish. Right, and luckily, the one thing we do flourish at is DJing. But you still got to go somewhere else because we got people. I can name 5 DJs right now who are traveling overseas, who are doing really well, who are not commercially known, but they're getting where they need to go.
The house. We are the house capital.
Yes.
Even with the mid closing, everybody that they booked was the mid.
When did that happen?
Oh, poor girl, you missed the memo. They tore that girl. That girl.
Are you serious?
That girl is gone. That happened three weeks, a month ago, maybe
EDM?
2 months ago.
No. It happened 5 months ago.
Is it gentrification?
They closed it 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But they demolished it recently.
They demolished it?
They demolished it.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
No.
That too. That area they're building residences over there. That's gentrification.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that.
They're doing that everywhere. They're doing that everywhere.
The mid. She's like, where at today? Because it's every day. Who? Yeah.
No, it's true. It's so true. That place to me,
and that,
what's sacred?
Nothing.
Okay,
commerce is sacred.
Money is sacred.
So the question is, how you gonna get it? And think about it. The people who have owned the building that the Mid occupied used to be the Generator, right? There was another club before it was the Mid. They stood on that building for over 40 years.
It's just right down the street.
They had to succumn to something.
From a business perspective, that's what you want. When you decide that you're tired of that, when you're done with that piece of property, you know how long they've been riding it. You know how much money they bought it for. Right. Smarter them, because they probably paid $15,000 for that lot.
Names, they had dope names coming through there.
Yeah.
After parties, everything.
But that's business of the club too.
About, what's that place on Milwaukee?
Which one?
That venue.
Is it still open?
Yeah.
Oh, the Double Door?
No. Oh. Right before Armitage. What is it called?
Armitage.
You know, like it's like close to the Congress, where the Congress used to be.
Not Red Dog or like
No.
Red Dog was like North Avenue and Dayton.
yes,
Yeah.
and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Cross
With
street.
the three of them.
Yeah.
Here, I got you. Don't even stress your head out with that.
Right, because it's coming. I knew he was gonna look it up. That's the math. But it's true. I mean, but that's a part of the process of it happens and happens and happens. I mean, at one point it was the shelter. Shelter was the hospital. I walked past the space last night. The shelter was a huge, shelter came from New York City, planted the seed.
Concord.
Right, and that's a newer name for the spot because it was called a Congress at one point.
No. Congress used to be up the street, but like Congress, like I don't know what it is, but it's not reopened. They haven't done anything with it, and I think it's gonna end up being something else.
Yeah,
but
because
like,
checks is being written, honey,
but
and they're like, I've been sitting on this people. Probably
Like
want to
Bronzeville. Can I buy some
take the check, and go somewhere else.
No, but that
Right,
that
yeah,
is still
exactly.
like once in a while they'll open it.
It needs a lot of work, though.
It's weird. It's like random events. Like once in a while
They'll pop up and do something.
They'll just open it.
Kind of like the Regal, like they got some money and they got some money in the Regal, but they ain't doing nothing with it yet. And I mean, the less consistent you are about it, the more likely it is that somebody gonna pop up and write you a check and be like,
some of these venues that
Beat it.
are surprising me. Like even Thalia Hall in the past 5 years.
they got cheese though.
Like-
Thalia Hall has like 4 other
I
venues,
see events so often
Promontory.
there.
They do stuff all the time right now. But then you'll look up in 10 years and that neighborhood will change a bit more and somebody will write them a check and they'll be like, we can go somewhere else. Just give me the 1.5.
Right.
And then it becomes, and you'll look at it from the standpoint as, oh, they sold out. And they look at it from a point of,
I don't
we
look
did
at it
our
like
business.
That. Get your money.
Yeah, we did our business and
your
now
money.
we can reinvent
That's it.
and move to another location.
I don't even think like that.
A lot of people do. But I used to feel like that. Like, we can't keep nothing and y'all don't care about the culture. But you also got to look at the neighborhood and who's coming in and what those people want.
It's like fuck the culture.
Yeah, I mean, money always trumps
Look at
culture.
Pilsen. Look at
But
Pilsen.
sometimes the culture mind ain't there where you're at yet. So it's like,
Well, I
Look
mean,
at
but then
Pilsen.
there's the
Pilsen's killing me.
responsibility of the people of the culture, too.
It
Because then
is.
there's our responsibility for saying, we create culture, now we have to do a step forward and buy some property to help
We do.
foundation. We don't. What we do is, as black people, we create culture.
Yeah.
But we don't own it.
Yeah.
That's where our
that's
issue
crazy.
is.
yeah.
That is crazy.
And there's something to be said in
Not to say that, you know what, it's not even like
in defense of us. Most of us create from a space that lacks confidence, like we were talking about earlier. So when you think about that, you're saying, well, I mean, I made it, and it's
Like we
cool.
were talking about editing
Look, right?
ourselves out of
It's cool,
greatness.
but nobody likes it. So, and then you leave it there, and then somebody is like,
appropriate it, and then you upset.
you didn't know what you had, but again, that's in the foundation of your structure. So if your mother was like super artist, and your mother knew what you did was dope, then she's gonna create a structure underneath
But you
that
know
allows
what?
you to.
I understand that because that's the same thing with the 3 steps
Give me that house and
within
soul.
my foundation. My daughter comes along, she's like, I know. But when my daughter showed me that she was into art, then I gave her that. I'm like, ooh, you like fashion design? Here's a sewing machine. You like, you know what I'm saying?
But see, and
So
I mean,
she-
I can buy
in her
my.
greatness, I can see that. But me, it's like, is it good enough?
See,
It's not good
I
enough
don't
for
wanna-
me.
I don't wanna put all the blame on the
It's
parent.
great, but it's not perfect for me. So that's, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what you're saying about what you grew up with does make.
Yeah, because our people are artists from by nature.
My mom was more hard, yeah. So me, I'm more critiquing my stuff. My daughter's just like, it's great, and it is.
But I mean,
you
and
know?
look at how critical our people are.
Yeah,
We sitting around fine tooth combing each other every day, so you can't just
Exactly.
present anything.
I know.
Like,
I interviewed.
they not gonna like it.
And she said that. She said I interviewed when I worked for the Austin Voice when I edited for them. She said that. She said my parents saw that I was into architecture, so they bought me all these books.
They prepared her.
They prepared her for that architecture.
And I mean, that's the thing. It's like I can buy my kid a bunch of books, but if I don't go a step further, and as an adult and a parent, you have to step out of your comfort zone and say, maybe I need to go and source a pool of artist parents and figure out what they're doing to further their children. Instead of just buying me a bunch of paints and go to your room and paint, I need you to stretch for us so that you make it easier for me. But you got to be planning to do. That's a part of planning parenthood.
I could appreciate what this woman I heard said about, I mean, don't get me wrong, you as a parent have to lead, but at the same time, you have to, when your kids say, ooh, they're showing interest in something, then we need to support that interest.
Nurture it.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. I mean, you know, and you hear a lot of parents going, we bought her that such and such, she didn't do nothing with it. We bought her that so and so, but that's a part of the experience of being a kid.
Honestly, we're not even talking
way.
about the psychology of that, because like even parents,
can't.
they're trying to support you, but they don't want to see you succeed either.
I mean, I
Not
don't
more
know.
than they. Not more than they.
Say that.
Not more than they do.
I know from personal experience.
Listen.
It wasn't that my parent didn't want to see me succeed. When I
There's
came home
psychology
and
to
said,
this
my
shit,
teacher said I
man.
should join the school newspaper, that I have a gift. When I wrote about Skill Park Mockingbird, that wasn't real to my parents. It wasn't that they didn't want me to do better than them, but being a writer was not a real job to them. They laughed like,
yeah,
but that's
very
every
blue collar.
teacher told me that. But from
what I'm talking
freshman
about.
to senior year, but they were like,
You're making my point for me.
But I think that's
You're making my point for me.
But that's just not
they
not
were
being
industrialized.
Yeah.
It's one
My
thing.
grandparents and my mother were as well.
It's one thing. It's one
I
thing to
understand
say
it.
I don't want them to be more successful than me or succeed. It's another thing if you thinking what they're trying to do is not going to
be successful.
That's different.
Yes.
I mean, they don't want you living in their basement. For the rest of your life.
That's right.
Pretty much
that's
and sometimes they can't see, like they can't see the gift or the vision or whatever.
That's a real stage. And I mean, but that's where I'm talking about growth. Because you're saying, well, you know, for Danny is this girl, and I know that she really is creative. I need to stretch my canvas to figure out how to get her to the next level. I can't. I beat my mother up in myself for not. She just didn't have it to do.
Yeah, my mother either.
Like, and that communication has to happen. Like, communication. You get out and you meet people. I need to go hang out with the artist community and find out how these people are helping.
And I love it. And I love
to the next level.
And I had to surround myself with people that were like-minded.
And that's effective parenting now. And it's, you know, that's why planned parenting is a real thing. Because I read an article.
No, because my uncle's like that, and all his kids are like going to Walter Payton and going here, but he's like playing parenting, and everything is like totally in line.
Yeah.
Just what he saw for his kids is exactly what they're doing.
Thing is called
That's
because
That's
it's
right.
planned parenting.
And that's the way it. I'm not. And trust me. I mean, think about our history and our legacy as creators and the type of people who succeed. We succeed, but then that's why the success rate of drug abuse and incredibly painful demise is great because that structure wasn't there. I went to the record label and they gave me a deal where the record label is making 75, 90%. Your ass walking around with a fly ass car living out that motherfucker.
Exactly.
So there's a give and a take. So it's like you could give the baby all the structure and they get so structured that they're not really artists.
You know what? I think about even with the movie. What was that movie? About NWA.
Yeah.
Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
And who was it? Ice Cube with the educated parents was like, I told you not to sign that deal because he learned firsthand about every
capable
part of it, so he knew
business.
what to do.
And what was
that's
his
reality.
parents? Two-parent home, you know, at least
Well,
somewhat
honestly,
college educated, or at least, you know, structured. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's structured.
Yeah. And, you know, everybody else is just like, we just trying to get paid. Like, where the check at?
Because
Where the mo at? Where the hoes at? Where
It's
my sunglasses? Where my bling at? I'm trying to look icy for the block.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I felt like what you were saying earlier about hobby versus this is what you want to do.
Right.
And that's even with me. I was like, ooh, she's right. 'Cause I don't have enough structure. I need to set a time every day, get up, write, do this. I mean, reality is reality. And I feel what you're saying about people don't want to see you, because when you don't want to see yourself, you can't grow. Anything that's not growing is people.
I have that conversation with adults now because I have a few people who are like, how do I get taken seriously for my mentoring? And I'm like, create a trail. The first trail is easy to create is the electronic trail. Mm-hmm. So, you know, look at our structures. There's tons of people on YouTube that can tell you how to, you know, create online classes.
But like hands-on is like, hands-on is always better than.
Well, it depends on how you learn.
And then somebody
like
putting it on YouTube. To me, like
it depends on how you learn.
To me, like I had this
some
kid.
people could listen and get it. I'm not a listener and get it.
I have to touch it.
I get both now because I'm like, I'm watching all of this stuff and I go, oh, I caught that. Try it. But then some things, like for my production thing, I want to have somebody sitting with me and going, click this, do this, twist that, listen to this like that.
Yeah, and you know what? And I feel you with that, but like, you know, like
these younger people, they just like, oh, I watched it on YouTube. Click, 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 click.
Yeah,
click.
but like they don't get it. So I showed them. So
that's true.
I showed this kid how to like chop up beats, how to sample things, like, you know, and he took that and ran with it. But like he needed that
structure.
No, to look at it being done. Look at it being done,
right,
like
directly.
Right in front of him, and like me telling him, this is how you do it.
Right. And I think you know, it depends on the person and how they, you know, how they learn individually, but it's got to be there. It's got to, you know, you got to have people in your corner who do it consistently, so that you get in that cycle of folks who do. So yeah, and I'm talking to them, and I'm like, you know, you got to create a structure. I'm like, stop being on Facebook all the time, posting photos of you and your family, and start talking about what you do. And you're going to lose because everybody else in Facebook's environment is taking selfies of themselves at the beach and stuff. You have to stand there and talk about the same thing consistently so people know she is serious about what she does.
Because it's not about getting a whole lot of energy. It's about getting the right thing.
Right. Just so that you create credibility. That's what we're talking about, credibility. Like, no, she knows what she's talking about. She do this shit for real. It's not a joke. I have, you know, buddies who ask me to do events for them and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I want them to know that I'm so serious that I need to be paid, even by my friends.
Right.
So when I come to you and I'm like, when I come to you and go, this is the questionnaire. Oh. I mean, we just want you to do a backyard party. But the same shit applies. You asking me to come, bring speakers, bring my setup, and perform in your backyard. It's the same thing that I do when somebody books me on. And nobody that doesn't mean I'm gonna charge you the same rate as I would charge these people. But I need you to understand.
Nah, but I hate that shit.
But I need you to understand that it's a priority.
Friends always want some shit like free,
and you need to treat it professionally.
To me, as a friend, I shouldn't want something for free. I should want to contribute. This is your cause. Wait a minute, hold on. I got a friend that do this. Let me call her above any other. Because let me tell you something. This is his friend, not my friend. She's a friend through me.
But
let's
see,
be real.
This is what I get.
Hold on. Let me say that. But I was thinking, because he's turning 40 this year, maybe I'll get Danielle and ask her if she could DJ his birthday party, because I would rather give her the money and know she's good at what she does than give it to somebody else because she's associated.
Right.
You feel me?
And see this. So what I get
feel me?
I feel you. This is what I get. Well, my cousin could do it.
Well, let your motherfucking cousin do it then.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
No,
we're recording.
that's okay. It's the truth. This is a real conversation. That's what this is what I said cocktails and convo because we used to go
Cocktails and Convo.
I used to have a party called cocktails and
If you guys ever want to do
conversation.
cocktails and convo
But-
at our place, you guys are more than welcome to come by.
Look,
Like, you guys are
crates
like,
and
we
convo.
can do
But
this.
this is real talk. We talking real talk.
Exactly.
And I'll make really dope drinks.
Tacos. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's
Look,
it. I'm a great cook.
I know that's what
I'm
I'm.
a fan.
That's what I want. That's what I'm saying. I just
I'm
want
not
some
fat for no
tacos.
reason.
Shit, make me some motherfucking
I'm not fat for no
tacos.
You know I can cook.
Look, I like ground turkey and chicken.
Ground
But
turkey
no.
and chicken.
But that's the real conversation.
Exactly.
The real conversation says, well, if your cousin can do it,
Let him do it.
and then, because I had this happen a few times with weddings. Girl, what was we thinking? You wanted your cousin to do it. You didn't want to fill out the questionnaire. So your wedding was a catastrophe. You paid your cousin $125.
You got what
And
you
look at
paid
your
for.
$125 memory. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if there's a structured group of people who create a regime and present themselves in a professional manner, don't undercut just because your cousin could do it, because your cousin is working where he works for a reason. But that's one of our black challenges. And should we say that it's just a black people thing? Probably not.
No, it's just
ignorance.
I think it's a relationship thing.
It's
you know what?
It's ignorance.
People who.
Sorry if that sounds mean, but it's ignorance. Because
Contrary to
speaking
popular
of this-
belief, ignorance is not bliss. It is not.
sometimes I don't want to know shit though. I'm serious. I'll be like, oh God, I can't believe I got to
Yeah,
learn
I think it depends.
I like my.
That is true.
I like
I
my.
don't want
Look,
to.
I
Like if you're cheating on me,
you.
please don't advertise it.
I like my pretty fluffy space. Please don't ruin it. Don't ruin it
I
with the.
understand what you're talking about.
No, I
Because
know.
we used to tell you to live in a bubble. But at the same time, we can't better ourselves if we don't know what's
That's
going
right.
on. We can't do anything with it.
And that's you getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's where the growth is. It's hard.
It really
It's
depends.
hard.
It depends on the situation. Me going to boot camp, ignorance was bliss. Me not knowing what the heck I was going to run into when I went to boot camp, ignorance was bliss. But once I become smart, then it's like, okay, now you know what's up.
Like, ooh, I wish I
I
had known.
agree.
This is speaking.
I
of
love this conversation, guys. Thank you.
Speaking of this pain thing, so I had someone who said they were having a party.
Look, I already know the conversation is going
And then they said, and you can DJ for an hour if you want to.
Look at how haphazardly they threw it out if you want to.
Right. Okay. So then later I got the text saying, okay, this person is gonna DJ. Then I have you there, and then I have another person DJ. Like I haven't even said yes or whatever.
Right.
So then I come back with, well, how much are you paying? And then their question was, well, how much do you want? And I was like, well, I want what you're paying the DJs. You are paying them, aren't you? You did budget for that. And then they were like, no. And I was like, well, you really should. And then they said this. Well, they're donating their time as my gift. And I was thinking,
Wonderful.
who said, why are you right to give? I don't care what I'm
That's
charging. That's
That's wonderful. That's wonderful for them.
for them, right.
We ain't them.
Yeah. And so then
Hallelujah,
I was
Father
like,
God. I'm just saying. Let's be
yes.
real
So
about
So
it.
then it just kind of made me feel like, So they were like, what can I do to get you? I was like, yeah, I got to think about it. I don't know. Because it's not until it's months down. And I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like how this transpired. Because it wasn't even like, it was if you want to. It was like a voluntary thing. Now you got to have me. But you should be paying people. I'm like, really? You should be giving them something.
You should be
These
giving
are professionals.
like
This the crazy
my
part.
my friends or anything. I like honestly like you know what they tell me I don't want nothing from you. Okay, that's fine. But like I never not expect to give them, and even though I even try to pay them, it's up to them if they don't want to accept payment or not.
Exactly.
Because sometimes I go home and I reach in my pocket and I'm like, motherfucker gave me all my money back. Fucking asshole.
But I mean, think about it from the standpoint of, like, this is the shit that wears me out. You probably used to listen to that.
Like,
You
like
rented the space. You hired a caterer. You paid somebody to decorate that motherfucker. But you don't have a budget for entertainment? How does that work? Like, you went...
A party ain't a party without the entertainment.
Hi, and how about the fact that you actually wrote out these checks to all these other people
But you
because
didn't
they
think
do
to write-
business? Why would all of a sudden you just blacked out on the DJ? Or you blacked out on the band?
Yeah.
Or the spoken word artist or whomever? This wag is
It's two
cooking,
things.
dog.
It's the presentation
This shit is
and the
everything.
entertainment that makes the party. If you don't have the presentation or the entertainment,
not
it
for
ain't
me.
no party.
I appreciate you.
What I don't understand is you're willing to pay people who are not your friends, but you don't want to support the people who have your back. I said what amazes me is people are willing to pay people who are not their friends for their professional help, but the people who have your back, you don't want to pay them. You want to use them.
Well, that's how it works.
I mean, that's the game. That's game.
You always treat friends and family like shit. Way worse than you do
And that's so
strangers.
unfortunate.
That's just how it is.
And that's why when people say, why'd you go and play at such and such? Why you play at so and so? And I go, because they pay me. You don't have no spots on the south side that you play at. And when you do, you play in trap music because they still pay me. And I don't have to bring anything but a damn thumb drive and some headphones, basically, in my laptop. So which one is it? Like, if you have those expectations, then create the environment that says that I should be there and compensate. Me and everybody else motherfucking cousin. Because I'm somebody's cousin, too. But they don't go, oh, my cousins go, you can't call her. Because she want to get paid. Why? Because this is a serious part of my streams of income. And I want everybody to get paid. So it's not just like, well, go get them, they cheaper. I'm like, if I send Drea, then Drea needs to motherfucking get paid. And I'm going to make sure that she goes and gets possibilities where she's going to get that. Because it's not just about me. It's about all of us.
oh, you better take care of my friend if I send my friend.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
better
going to send
take
my
care of
friend
her, like,
for no
she ain't doing
$10
that shit,
bullshit. Like, come on, like, that's not that hard.
Like, I don't care how many tacos
Yeah, she cheap.
or how
Look.
much Patron you got flowing. You better pay that motherfucker.
See, but that's where the merit is. Like, you know, because everybody want to look like they doing some shit. So they like, man, we got to the room and we had Cristal and Moet and we had all this stuff. What's your check look like? People go, you have a guest list? I say, no. You want to know why? Because when I first started DJing, I would hear people say, you got 10 people on this list. We taking $10 off of your pay. Oh, no, I don't have a guest list. Everybody going to pay because I'm going to get my money. I mean, it doesn't happen like that anymore. But I still go, if my people support me, they don't have a problem with paying.
Exactly.
Girl, you got a list? No. I know you got a... No, I don't. Because I don't want no problems getting my fee. And I want to be respected. If I bring them a fat ass list, they're like, oh, Falcon worked for free tonight. No, she not.
They were talking about that at
This is the hot too.
Let me see that shit.
we were at the conference center.
You'll like it. It's like beach house.
People always want to get on the guest list. They don't want to pay. Get
No.
on the parties. And then they
Oh, and don't have a High Park Brew Fest. How many phone calls I got?
What?
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 It's free. The fuck is wrong with you? Well, we just want to make sure that, you know, if they start charging and it, you know, because like Terry
wish I was
Hunter
there to
and
see
all
your
of them
shit.
people, so we gonna come in under you, so we get to the.
Wow.
I don't have a guest list. They like when she had something to do, she act like she don't know nobody because I don't want no problems.
Exactly.
We call me y'all. You can call me what you want to. Call me all kind of bitches and all of that stuff. But the bottom line of it is, you're not gonna fuck my relationships that I'm trying to build.
I think it's like, so I'll just wait out here outside of the VIP area. Like, you don't have to get me in. Like, it's okay. I'll just stand out here and wait for you to come out. Well, I gotta be in.
I mean, look at like this, but look at this. This is, I love this. Thank you guys. This is a heavy, good conversation. Why I gotta go through trauma to work with my damn family?
But
That's what they
Jesus'
do,
family didn't
though.
recognize him. Who are you?
I'm not Jesus.
This is what they do.
Clearly, I ain't walked on no motherfucking water. I'm tripping. This is where we. But I need that to change. Like, I'm not gonna. Keisha, my cousin, girl, get in here and do my hair. Oh, she gonna charge. Never mind.
Well, yeah.
But we your family.
But that's the thing. I don't understand.
Now,
I want to pay family and friends above everybody.
look at this. So I gotta call my aunt and uncle. They have a trailer. I'm gonna need their help. They're probably expecting me to be like, oh, she gonna ask me. No, I'm not. How much do you think gas is gonna cost? How much you know? How long can you be with me? What kind of compensation? Because first of all, I need you to know that I'm serious, and I don't take your time
And money talk.
for granted.
Exactly.
Now, if you say, "Oh, we'll never take your money," okay, cool, but I'm still gonna expect for you to be there at this time, do this, this, and this. So if you want to step back and think about,
The commitment that you're
girl, I've been through some things. Like, cause I had my first graphic designer and website designer. I would go to his house and sit for hours
Why?
because we was cool.
How cool?
So cool that it would take him hours to do my fucking work. And that shit used to just boggle. And I was paying.
Oh, wow.
But that line of professionalism
Did it
and
blur?
friendship
Did it blur?
was real. Like,
Did it blur?
I'd be
Did
sitting
it
in
blur?
Yes, honey. I'd be
It
sitting
blur?
in his
It
house
blur?
for
It's
days.
blurred. Look at you. You're like,
For days.
that graphic designer was worth this money.
I mean, the work was good, but my time was valued. And he disrespected
Oh,
my
he
time.
probably valued your time too.
He did, because he loves me. He likes working with me. We have good conversation. Are we getting shit done? I don't know. And I would be like, look, one of my girlfriends would be like, God damn, you've been over his house for 12 motherfucking hours. The website better be banging, bitch.
Right.
It wasn't.
And
It
I'd come
was.
home and be like,
It was
ain't
banging
full.
all right.
I would come home and be like, it's not finished yet. And then she'll be like, and I'll be like, I gotta go back for 3 more days. Like, so it's like, and now he's a completely different person. Like, he does he did my last photo shoot. I paid $250 to book him. Got there, $250 more. Came in, 5 headshots, touched up, photo ready, all my originals, 5 on top of this shit. But that was 12 years ago, and we were both friends. Now I don't refer people to charm because I'm like, y'all money not right. And like, we did all that bleeding early in the game. He ready now. Get your money, but it's a part of the process. And part of the reason why I'm
Get this naked woman out of
part
my
of the reason why I'm doing my own
Oh, let me
flyers
see
and
all
shit
that
right now.
African stuff. Come on, give me that shit.
Yes, please play that for me because I need to push it. I gotta get my shit together. So I'm just really pretty much building packages for these few clients today. But these are challenges that everybody re-entirely. Like, you gotta get people to take you seriously. Have people be mad at you and shit because they didn't get you. You need to listen to this too. Like some of that soulful, down-tempo, sexy. You just gotta be ready for the pros and the cons of all of this. There's a lot of them. Like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm like,
And you do have to kind of figure out what you will and will not put up with and stand for. So, yep.
and I mean, then the other side of it. So, like, and this is what I thought was interesting. My mentor is overly established, super duper legit.
What's his name?
His name is Joseph Russo, and he's doing this, having to walk the same walk with people who aren't taking him seriously. You trying to work with young people? They like, who are you? Like, I'm a real check writer. Like, the checks ain't small either. But I'm having trouble convincing you to be professional and prepared for these opportunities. And y'all not seeing the forest for the trees. I'm like, wow. I'm like, we all jacked up. I'm like, we're all...
You're not alone.
Right. And so then the question, this is what I posed, and he was like, that's not the school I come from. Because I was going, well, fuck it, we can go to an agency. But there's no personal relationship there. And, like, it's harder to sit and have a conversation with somebody and you're like, you know, this is the tone, this is what the expectations are. I want it to be organic and y'all don't have a relationship and, you know, there's no reference points. So it makes it a little more challenging. But it's all a part of the process, I guess. But I was taken aback by that. I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting these people to poo-poo you. You have 4 fucking credible venues. But that's not in their generation. So if he had said, I owned whatever club, like the 40-40 club, then maybe they would be like, oh, that's Jay-Z shit. Shit, sorry. Maybe that would trigger them. But he said, oh, you know, my clubs are a little more upscale and independent and not so hip-hoppy, flossy. Then they like,
I grew up during backpacks, so I don't care.
Groove Collective. They did they have more than one radio hit?
Oh, do you have one?
What's keeping us
What?
apart?
Oh, did you say
Groove
Radiohead?
Collective. No, Radiohead. Groove Collective had that one song that Up and Away. They had like a stepper song that was kind of
Oh, I remember.
up and right, up and away.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
I did not know that one.
They played it on V103 at one. Hell no. That's a Vogue track right there.
You voguing?
Sampling. Sampling.
Sampling, right. She like, how you gonna play this shit or not?
Right, why you trying?
Look, I'm here for it.
I'm sampling it.
Oh, Music and Wine. This used to be one of my favorite songs to play.
Ooh, I like the name of
I
that.
like
Who is
I
that?
like the
The artwork.
I like
They
the
did
I love the
They
artwork.
did a whole series.
Music and Wine.
This was a whole series.
So now
of
you know what I'm looking for.
naked music, clearly. But
You know what I'm looking for?
Naked Music was the
naked music were the people who kind of started to pump Monique Bingham and Lisa Shaw and even Lettucey is on. This one has to come home because Lettucey did a house song. She wasn't very happy with it, but
I remember that CD before she was
yes, that's a hot track right there. The batteries are starting to die. Because she hates the tune. I was so mad when she said that she hates the tune too. I was like, that song is everything. She had a not so great experience with house music. I don't know if it was based on him and maybe how the deal went or what. But she talked about it at one of those music experiences that Desiree used to do at the Harold Washington Culture Center.
that one I take it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you taking it.
Where you headed?
They're having a meeting for the party on Wednesday.
Who?
The club crawl.
Oh,
They're having
right.
a meeting.
You
You
don't
gotta go
look
to
like
meetings?
I'm tired.
You gotta go to meetings for this stuff?
it's fair because you want to make sure everybody is on point. This is not a a small endeavor. And like, so it's like stations. Like they're gonna take these buses and go through all of these venues, and it's just like doing the party buses. Like when they come in, it's got to be smacking up in that joint, so people get to experience. So they definitely should have. Did you do it last year? Or is this your first one?
I mean, I was a patron.
So you went.
I went.
How was it?
It was good. I learned a couple things.
sounds tribal.
I
I like
started
Yes,
late.
it's very tribal. Yeah, Africanism was a dope label. Go on.
I started too late,
I need to.
and then I let my starting point, my end point should have been where I started. So, because my car, I had to find a way to get back to my car.
This is already gone. I just need to make sure. Go ahead. You said yeah, it's gone. That's all. So I just need to make sure it was what I thought it was before I handed it.
I mean, he hasn't paid for it.
Yes, he has.
Sounds like it's paid for. That's what I was about to say to him. It sounds like it's paid for.
You seem like bag off, buddy, baby.
I mean, is that Sergio Mendes still? You know?
The Sergio Mendes is not for sale, David.
Don't worry, I will have it by tomorrow.
Oh, you found one?
Huh?
You found one?
I can always find any record.
Yeah. You should. So I
I mean, at the right price,
that's
I
the
can
question.
find any record.
It depends on what you want
If
to
it's
pay
something-
for.
You know that's my favorite color in your hair.
Thank you. Purple
You're
is
welcome.
purple is necessary.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
why when you recommended that
You ever walk
that show
through a
that
field
she's gotta have it.
Right.
She
You
loved
ever
all
walk
the
through
purple
a field
in it. Like,
and work by the color purple and don't notice it?
Right. I notice it every day, girl, when I wake up. Look, and my mother notices it when I go and lay on one of her pillowcases at our house, and she's like, "What? This purple is everything."
Yes,
Yes, it is.
it is.
So what I want to, of course, we're going to talk
Okay.
later
I forgot.
because I want to know how the meeting goes.
Yes,
Of course.
I think we have it.
necessary. We don't have that one.
What
on,
time is
go
it?
with me.
I'll be here till about 9 or something.
What, today?
Where you headed after? Because you were supposed to go to. Why is she shaking her head?
You know what? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. So I gotta go
Oh,
somewhere.
I was
I
supposed to
gotta
make
eat.
lasagna.
So if you want
I
to
don't
come back
think he
and
has
eat,
one.
come and get you to eat.
Baby.
Sure. Be careful, love.
Oh no.
Why haven't you eaten?
I was going, man. I was asleep. Then
Where
I
you guys
got
trying to
up,
go eat?
Go to the radio station, then come back to my show. Go back to the radio
Where you guys trying to go eat?
You know? Alright.
Why do I feel like it's a creature crawling on me?
Oh,
girl?
wait, I'm blocking you. I have to let you out.
Did she hear you? Okay.
I gotta start making major decisions. How much I got here?
Hold on, love. Yeah, I need to keep this girl too. This is a box set. So, like the things that I'm keeping outside of what David is
Babe.
tripping.
Babe. I'm trying to like just keep it over here.
Okay.
Here, look, I'm just gonna put it. There you go.
I think I disappointed one of my
Did I
possible
give you your car back?
Yeah, you
big
did.
buyers. I don't have a lot of hard house. I thought I had some kind of
I
tech.
don't even want none of that.
The shit. Well, somebody overseas asked me did I have any hard
Oh,
house,
unblock it.
but we clearly had two different understandings of what hard house
What's hard house anyway? Is that like fucking like?
is. I think.
Is that drum and bass?
Look, ignorantly.
Is that drum and bass?
Well, it's more techno-y. Like it's
Technical, or like
Techno-y.
Techno-y.
yeah.
Techno.
Techno. It's hard dance music, like, progressive. This might be one of those situations. But see, a lot of the stuff I always at least tried to buy things for myself that
All I do is buy stuff.
that are like Latin driven and like a little more soulful and
I bought like this many, fucking like a stack like this full of just samba and bossa nova. Like this. Like,
that's
I
my
love it.
shit.
I love every single part of it. Like,
That's the shit that you should be.
yeah, like I got from this garage sale like 10 albums. that's all just percussion.
Right. And see, that's the type of stuff that I like. So
like
that's
the-
why these Africanisms are what
they're
they are.
dope. They're
But I
dope.
thought I had a different idea of what he was talking about when he said hard house. Like the shit that he sent me some photos of some shit, and it's not really.
Like, I'm really into tribal music right now. Like, I'm hitting like a phase right now. Like, you know,
Well,
that's
it
why-
goes. It's in
that's
line
why
with
I'm
where
in
we
the
are.
Search for Sergio Mendes, like anything Brazilian bossa nova, like you know, fucking heavy African drums, like.
He might like that. Yeah, that's my shit. I mean, that and African, percussion and, organic shit. And it honestly goes with the time because, a lot of the babies and stuff are like listening to like dance hall and they're listening to Afro beats and
That
Afro
dance hall shit
beat.
is dope too, though.
It's heavy. And the energy of it is right. Like, and this is the challenge
I don't believe in their dances. That whole stabbing.
What, this?
No, stabbing.
I don't know what that is then, I guess.
Like that dance hall shit. Like they have a dance move called stab.
Oh, you
Motherfuckers
mean
be
when they
jumping off the
slam?
rafters and
Right,
slam.
yeah, I'm not. That should be called broken nuts. Broke dick. Because when you pow somebody.
Like, stop taking my dick. Like, don't do that.
That's a real thing. I seen it. I'm like, do people really want to fuck like
Stabbing,
this?
yo. Stabbing.
I'm like, did you break the girl's back when you jumped off of the damn
Hey, man.
table
People
on
are-
top of her
people are-
back like that? And did she find it pleasurable?
People want that
Because I'm
bad,
too
bro.
old to be jumping. So I have somebody jumping on my back, stabbing. You seen the dance hall dances where they jump off of stuff and they like, what the fuck is that? She like,
That's a little bit.
Like, treat her with respect,
That's-
bro.
there's no respect.
And that's how music come out.
No, I'm talking about in general. I mean, that goes along with the stripping. Like strippers, I don't have to respect you. I'm paying you. I can do what I want to do. Now bend over.
I don't know. Back in the day, like I used to be heavy with like the strip culture, and all those girls, like we used to do. drugs
Atlanta
with.
did that shit to
We used to do
us.
drugs with and all this shit. They were cool as fuck. I mean, but they all come from like really fucked up ass backgrounds. But like, I never treated them like that. Most of the time, I never wanted them to touch me because like I felt grossed out by them.
I took some strip club hits back in the day.
Like,
Not meaning hits, but I'm
grossed
not
out
a
by
strip
them.
club girl. I don't want to hang out in a strip club. But I had some friends, and they used to crew up and go to strip clubs, so I went with them. And I'd be in the back, and they just like, I would be the
Yeah,
nerdiest
big titties.
motherfucker.
Like I would go with my cousins. They'd be like,
You've had some
the
big
stripper
titties
would
in
sit
your
on my lap like, I would give you and your girlfriend.
I don't want no
a 2 for
lap
1
dance.
special.
I don't want no lap dance. I don't want no
Not even for
coochie,
fun?
no coochie juice on me. No, thank you.
Oh my god! One time, like
I don't play them
listen to me,
games.
listen to
Look,
me.
I don't play those games.
So listen.
I'm a nerd, honey. I don't need that action.
I was in this place in St. Charles, right? And some girl put her legs like on, like I was by the stage and I was with the girl I was with back then, and she put her legs on my shoulders and she tried to stab me or like smack me with her thing.
Coochie.
With the
It's
fucking-
not a look thing with her
with
thing.
the
You
funky
have a
monkey.
thing. She has a
with the funky
coochie.
monkey, right? And like that motherfucker.
Let's clarify.
That motherfucker hit me once, really hard, and I'm like, I'm done. Like I need to get, like I swear to you.
Did she break your arm?
No.
Concentration.
I had.
At least.
I told her I was so offended that I wanted like my money back. I was like I was so angry. And Bonnie's like, Bonnie's my sister. She was like, what are you so mad at? You got some girls like thing in your face. I'm like, no, I don't know where she's been. Like, no.
Gucci juice on me. My mama made it.
And Bonnie's like, you're being a pussy. Like, don't do that. I'm like, come on. Like, I gotta get.
No coochie juice.
I gotta get an STD test tomorrow.
No,
I
I
started
don't-
panicking.
Man,
I started
I went
panicking.
to a few spots with buddies. Like one spot was like classy. It's It's out in the suburbs.
Is any strip club really classy?
Yeah, it was classy.
Yeah.
It was
Like the
more
horse,
white
what is it,
occupied than
horse?
anything else. And the girls, I can't remember what it's called. It's out in the suburbs, but it's a classier place. And they have like stages. You can't reach the stages. They have someone who comes around and collects the money for the particular dancer who's
That's
up
not
on
a
the
strip
stage.
club I would've
That's a
gone
strip
to.
club. That's the strip club I went to. I appreciated it was artful. But for me to be up in the club
for
and
her
you
to be
sticking
able to
shit
dance,
up in
wait,
places,
People not be able
Listen,
to degrade her
listen,
while
listen,
she's
listen,
dancing.
listen.
That's
art.
artful.
A
That's
strip
different.
club. A strip club is a strip
it was a
club.
strip
That's
club
the
though. It was still it was a strip club. It's called Pole Cats, and it's in the suburbs.
I've been there.
Yeah, it was. He prays like that's a lame spot. it probably is.
He's like,
don't have a heart attack or nothing, David. You sitting over
I
there
know a
about
couple of bitches still going there.
right. And I mean, but it was, and then they had a group of girls while the one girl is up on the stage and she's doing her thing.
And
They
then
had some
other-
other girls kind of walking around and kind of doing their little thing, and you know,
This was like a place where, you know what, I have to wash my hands. You know, just
that's not it. You talking about Andy's?
I don't know no Andy.
Andy's was
What you know about Andy?
Andy's was the place where I was standing back going, I hope I don't have anything on me, and there was a room with these little doors and you could see, and people was getting all kind of blowjobs and shit and stuff. Yeah, it was real.
Yo, where's
I
this
was like,
place?
Andy's. Dumbass.
Your ass.
Andy's. Your ass. But it's real. But that's I don't.
You know, there used to be this place.
I'm a nerd, honey. I don't need to see the claps.
No, I
and
do
the,
that. I am
and
too. I am
You
too.
ain't even got to go to the strip club now. Just go to Instagram.
right. They
This-
trying to get likes.
It's all on. Boy, this girl the other day had a phone sitting up here on her ass, and she was like individually clapping cheeks. What you got to go to? You ain't
She
got to
dialed
pay.
the whole number with her.
No,
cheek.
she just was. The goal was to
She dialed the
keep
whole
it,
number. She's like,
to not drop it while she moved. She wanted to show that she could isolate. She was isolating. I was
how you
like,
gonna isolate the booty?
look,
Believe me.
I don't need that shit in my life. But hey, I'm not. I like artful shit. That's classless.
So you're saying that like strippers cannot be like artists?
They can.
There's some
Some
girls that
people-
can be very. Look at Cardi B. She became
Cardi
a
B is
stripper,
a rapper.
and then she became a rapper.
She is not an artist. That's the difference.
She was a.
How is she not? She seduced men. She got to
That
where
doesn't
she
make
wanted
an
to.
artist.
Yeah, she's an artful.
She
I mean,
She-
in the form of
Cardi,
art, I guess
Cardi
she does
B,
express
and
herself.
what's the one chick's name that's a little bit older with the blonde hair that's black?
Babe, are we not going to see it?
You want to go see a movie?
No, that's okay.
No,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
go.
having a
All
better
right,
time here.
all right.
I'm having a better time here. So.
She want to go see Toy Story 4.
No, you want to see Toy Story 4.
Oh, cool. But what's the one chick's name that's on the TV shows that?
That big old freak chick or what?
No, she was blonde hair, brown skin.
Nicki Minaj?
chick. No, she also was a stripper, and she made her way up, and now she's like, you know.
I don't know.
It wasn't Head. Was it somebody named Head?
No, I can't remember her name right now, but
Lil Train?
Cardi is a opportunist.
Yeah, she got.
That's what she did. Artist.
I wouldn't say she's an artist.
not an artist.
No, she's
Someone
not.
else writes her lyrics. What she did from the conception was perform.
She's a performer. That's the word for it. Performer.
And performers aren't
Even
artists?
this wish. No, they're not.
Performance
There's a
art.
difference.
Performance is art.
Performance is art.
Isolate that shit.
But
Though
I
Cardi
don't know.
plays roles.
Exactly.
That's acting. Right? That's an art. She goes and gets in character.
Yeah. and
She's
she-
playing the character of a rapper.
Right, but
she
that's
played the
not
character
who she-
of a stripper. I would like to see where she goes.
after that.
Is she gonna end up being an actress? And can she
Hold her on.
verse? Is she verse enough to be able to act and not act like a hoe or stripper? She's funny
She'd
naturally.
only
That's my
get
Libra
those-
sister.
She'd only get those type of like roles.
Yeah, she gonna get typecasted if she gets.
I don't see any.
She definitely gonna get typecasted if she gets any of those.
Oh yeah, definitely.
those more popular roles at all. But you know, that's the game now. The game is, you know, look, you could compare her to somebody like Janet Jackson. Like Janet Jackson ain't never been the best. No, let's do it for the sake of the conversation. Janet Jackson ain't never been the best singer, but Janet Jackson can perform.
Exactly.
So she gets on stage, she gets the whole production, costume, dancing. She's a performer.
She can.
She's not the best singer.
No,
but that's the reason why.
She can hit ranges in depth. And,
you don't have Janet Jackson
she's
standing
not a
still.
Lauryn Hill.
You'll never have Janet Jackson standing still performing acapellas ever. Because she can't pull it.
Lauryn Hill
Now, so what you
that.
do with somebody who cannot sing in that capacity is you create a production around them.
Exactly.
Lights,
Like
dancers, costumes. Yes. Now, Beyonce could sing with a cloak on and kill it. But she went for commercialism. Commercialism says you still do all the performance
Beyonce
and
can't really. She
can sing her ass
she's
off.
a performer.
The girl, no, but she has.
But
But
she's
she
not
can
a,
sing.
She's not a great singer.
She's a
She's
great.
not a great singer.
And I ain't even that much of a fan of Beyonce, but I have to.
No,
I have to.
I love
defend her.
Beyonce. Don't get me wrong, but I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
that much of a fan of Beyonce.
She can. She can.
No.
She's a run
She can do
girl.
it. Oh,
She's a
yeah.
run
She
girl.
She can do her runs like Stevie Wonder. And
She
like
can
Lauryn
run.
Hill.
No,
She got
cannot.
no baby. She got
She
runs.
cannot. She cannot.
Beyonce can stand
I've seen
still.
her live.
Beyonce can stand still
I've seen her
without
live.
acapella, without makeup, without hair, and move a room.
Yes.
She can do that without
Yes.
music. She can
can
do
sing.
it.
I gotta give it to her.
Now,
I gotta
adding
give it to her.
adding-
I've seen her live. She
adding
can
all
sing.
of those elements to it is the full package.
Beyonce. No,
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Exactly.
Janet cannot do that.
She cannot.
Who else can do? I don't think Rihanna can do
No,
that.
she cannot.
Who else?
Who else?
Diana Ross couldn't do that.
No,
We could go history,
I don't know.
right?
Whitney Houston could do it.
Whitney Houston could do that.
She could do it.
And she did it several times. But I think for her, commercialism is what helped kill her. Commercialism.
Well, I love. Yeah.
But she would have never got to where
I thought
she got if
I
she
would.
didn't
I
step
would think
into
it'd
that.
be Bobby Brown, but
No, Bobby didn't kill her.
No, let me tell
Whitney
you.
was her
something. She
own
killed Bobby
problem.
more than he killed her.
Whitney was her own problem.
Right.
And
You
if
know what'd be fucked
if
up?
you don't believe that, then
know-
you ain't
you-
watched none of them episodes.
You know what's fucked up?
Find her like
I think everybody blames Bobby Brown for her downfall, but like really,
That
it was
was
probably Whitney.
press.
Whitney had
Press
her own-
blame.
Exactly.
Press blame.
She had an image
Diana.
built around her, and he had a bad boy image built around him.
Yeah, but
he
but
earned
Whitney
it.
How
was
is he a bad boy when he's fucking do addition?
Whitney was
still
from
had that
Jersey,
image.
honey.
But
Whitney was from Jersey.
Whitney had an image
On her
where
own.
she was a good girl, but
They
believe me,
created that.
she turned him out more.
They
than he turned
created
him
the
out.
good girl
Yeah,
image for Whitney.
exactly.
Whitney
She
was from
never a good
the
girl.
street, not the street. She was from the street, and she returned to the street. But Bobby was Bobby's own problem too, because Bobby had his. You know, you could tell Bobby was the king of R&B, honey. He was
Damn, how
partying.
can you be the? How can you be the king of R&B though?
He was
Well,
the king
wait,
of
wait.
R&B.
First of all, no, he was not the king of R&B.
At
First of
that
all,
time,
he had a
when
pro- he had a-
Michael Jackson lived,
what are you talking about, Michael Jackson?
Mike is the king of pop.
No. First of all, okay, pop is just means that you elevated
you
towards
popular, right?
Commercial.
you're popular.
Commercial.
You're
Past
commercial.
white ear.
But he was making R&B music, yo. Like, come on,
No,
stop.
no, Mike was making R&B music, but you can't have the same person be the same position the whole entire way through. Like, look what was James Brown, the
James
Godfather of
Brown?
Soul.
No,
Yes, he was.
don't talk about Brown.
I'm not
Talk
talking
about
about
Brown.
him. I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying he was the Godfather of Soul.
He was.
Michael Jackson was
He
the Godfather, was the king of pop.
Right.
Bobby Brown was the king of R&B. Now, whatever happens after
I
that,
thought it was 12 people to vote, but no.
you got jokes.
I know.
Look,
I do.
you got some unfunny jokes. But
You know what? I'm not that funny, but like sometimes I am.
But the bottom line of it is, it's all marketing.
It is.
Can Michael Jackson stand still and sing? He can stand still and sing a cappella.
He was the entertainer still.
No, he
At one
Prince
point,
could stand still and sing.
Did you ever see did you ever see
Prince had a lot of
Michael
stunts,
Michael
too,
be running around on stage like killing that shit? Just like Freddie Mercury. He'd be running around. He'd be fucking doing kicks and shit.
Michael Jackson had
Like Freddie Mercury was a motherfucker that was always active, but he was singing too. But Mike was up there too, man.
Mike was up there.
Mike would sing Ben and shit, like be like no more.
We got a good thing going.
No, stop.
Michael.
What? I like that song.
I don't know if I want to hear Prince sing a cappella.
No.
Prince was
Well,
never.
I would.
Prince was a singer.
I don't think Prince was that great of a singer without music. I think he was strong
He
at
was
writing. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
and as a musician, he was incredibly strong.
100.
But as a singer,
100.
I could see him do the beautiful ones without music and do.
No,
I can see that. But honestly, I like it with the light piano.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So see, that's what I'm saying. Like to give
Definitely,
it a little extra
Right,
depth. I like it with light
It
piano.
wasn't completely a cappella.
No.
Something with it.
Yeah, but it's amazing to me that they all did. That shit. Sometimes the shit. Like sometimes I'll sit and
You
I
want
watch.
to sell that?
What this?
Yeah.
This going.
No.
This going with me. If I. But it's so. That's why I got it because it was portable and it folds up and fits in trucks and stuff. But who knows? I know this shit ain't moving fast enough. I know that. So, having said that, there will be some things that I give away because I'm going to. The bottom line of it is the shit has got to go. I shouldn't call it shit, but that means I'm getting frustrated, basically. But it is what it is.
King of Pop. Look at this guy.
Bobby Brown.
Bro,
Bobby Brown.
every
show.
motherfucker wore this suit.
Shoot the battle
You
round.
see this? You see this suit? Every black artist wore this suit. Gerald Levert, fucking Luther, everybody.
Can we play Tenderoni?
That's a staple in the industry.
Tenderoni album.
That's
This
what you have to
suit?
do. You had to have a
This suit, the gray,
during the period.
the gray checkered with the white.
Historic. That's historic. Everybody. I mean, look at the album covers of the period.
No, if you weren't
Look at
laying
the
down
album-
on that elbow,
On that one elbow,
on
Lionel
that
Richie.
one elbow, no.
I mean, that was the pose. And so when you go into a record store and you look at those songs, if you didn't buy the song because you listened to it, you bought it because of the album cover. Like, it must be hot because Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Luther Vandross, blah, 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 all of them.
One elbow.
All of them laid on that one elbow
Elbow.
with that button-down shirt on. And
Right.
sometimes you saw the little socks with the loafer hanging out of it. You did. You saw it.
Did.
So, well, that's history. What are we doing now, though? That's the thing. I don't know what's happening in music. I know I look at the little JPEGs on Spotify, and I'm like,
I feel like, you know what? It's gonna go through another round.
obscure. There's a
I
lot
feel
of.
like music is doing the same thing that writing is doing right now.
No,
What is back to the
Is
Renaissance?
anybody coming out with anything original?
Back to the Renaissance.
no. But like
I know that's happening with writing.
right now,
But
you
nobody's
have
original. Everybody's
you have
borrowing from
trap,
somebody else.
you have trap soul right now.
And it's
Trap
okay to
soul.
borrow, but
You have
be
trap soul.
inspired off of that and build.
You have trap soul.
Not do the same thing over and over.
So
That's not exactly
so you have trap soul.
what the hell is trap soul?
It's
I
soulful
can
trap
play it for you.
music.
It's trap music, but it's got feeling.
I know that
to
sounds smart, but
It's got feeling to it. It's got feeling to it.
It is something. I'm not saying it's not a thing.
I mean,
There
creating.
is depth being created because I think people they want to associate with the name trap because it's popular, but they don't fit the original genre. So
It's
this
like
is
the neo soul of trap.
that's right.
so, but like
Trap
this-
soul, that's what it
let's-
is. It's
let's-
like I'm not about to be talking about Pookie and them on the block in a rap way, but I'm going to sing and add the content to it and stretch it.
It's just-
It's fair.
it's just
I don't
like
have
this.
to like
Hold
it.
up.
But you know what? No, that's
No.
I can dig that.
But this is a guy that's
is
producing music on the fly. This guy.
Oh, he's dope.
Yeah.
Hello. Tie that. Oh, it died.
Oh shit. All right.
Look, he's like,
No, you got that effect on everything. Man.
zapped it.
That's
You
what
want
it
to
is.
plug it up to my power
Nah, we good.
charger? He's
I
like,
think-
my girlfriend is with me, so I ain't got nobody else. I
Nah,
need
we
to
gotta
worry
get
about.
going because
We got a charger in the car.
Right.
we need to
But I
get going.
wanted to hear it in here.
Ta-da! We got
But
some
you
good
know what I'm
content
saying,
today.
though. But like, he's making music on the fly. He's just like he's using these like samplers that just like, you know what? It's all voice sampling. Like that's all he does. Like everything like on that thing is like his voice.
Yeah, this is dope. I'm glad you got this.
It's about to rain like a monster.
Come on and go with me.
Over to my place.
Come on over to my place. Yes.
You know you made it when you had a leather coat on.
21. Look, a leather coat and a fur. Chaos is dope. He's still dope. This is one of his first projects. This is the shit. Oh, what's this? Yeah.
Hey.
34. Good one. Annapella, word. I missed that. This is dope as shit. The Latin shit is all up and through. 45.
45? Holy shit! I gotta really think about this.
The Masters at Work joints is what's getting you.
They're so dope. Oh.
That's
At least it ain't my choice to repeat.
no. We don't have no problem. Look, we don't have no problem with those. But look at the original price. It's $8.99. You get it for $3. Consider.
I'm considering.
You know, this Bobby Brown is a 12-inch and is in mint condition too. Come on now. So yeah, this has been another Crates and Convo that we've chatted for over an hour, 52 minutes. That's pretty good content. I can't wait to listen back because hopefully someone will find it inspiring. I think there was a lot of business addressings in this particular podcast as well as some funness. So once again, we have been doing this Crates and Convo thing while we dig through the many crates of records here at my storage space, and they are not moving fast enough. So I have to go and sit and ponder about what my next strategy will be for getting rid of these gems. I'm sure they will end up in somebody's record store eventually.
Okay, calm down.
See you next Sunday, Space.